Ladies and gentlemen, how are you today? It is Thursday, the last day in March in 2022. Did you make your day something wonderful to remember? Now, if not, good thing you're here because I have a wonderful guest, someone that I look up to on the internet that we all could learn from, the one and only Nerdrotics. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you. We're in a bad spot. If Alex Jones is right about too much stuff, and if anybody's looking up to me, we're in bad
Hey,
shape.
no. You are very articulate when you speak about something. You do the research and you talk about it in a straightforward manner, and I respect that in my fellow YouTubers. So I don't think there's anything wrong with looking up to you. You've been through a lot in your life, so I gathered. Now, of course, I really want to find out more. I'm going to be asking you some stuff about it. But before we do, I just want to let you know, I don't know if you heard that Will Smith smacked Chris Rock.
I didn't.
And
What?
yes, this happened last weekend. And I just wanted to share a meme that I don't think anyone has seen. All right. This is a brand new meme. All right. From what happened, the events that happened. Here it is. You ready for it?
So shocking.
There it is. We have it. It is a brand new meme, fresh off the press. Elden Ring is stupid, and of course, Quarter Black Garrett and Az gets super upset about it.
Yes.
And Quarter Black has to do it. Quarter Black actually thinks Will Smith's walk off looked good, like he was a boss walking away. I don't know if you agree with that. Or I don't agree.
I don't agree with that. I don't think Elden Ring is stupid. I just think it's stupid I've lost all my friends to Elden Ring. Okay.
Okay, that's understandable. I've succumbed to the Elden Ring myself. I love that game so much. But I was a Dark Souls player, Bloodborne, Sekiro, like all of those games. I love From Software so much. So this game is just another one on the list of many games that they've done that are amazing. But yeah, let's find out more about you. I've been following you around. Actually, you know what? Before we get into it, let me just say thank you. I want to thank you because you've brought me onto the Friday Night Tights show, which I absolutely love that show. Every time I'm on it, it's fantastic. And I just want to thank you for bringing me on and supporting me. I really do appreciate that.
Absolutely. Not a problem at all.
Yeah, man.
We do have, we're ultimately we're individuals in competition, but we got to help each other out because nobody's going to help us. YouTube's not going to help us.
True.
Media's not going to help us. Nobody's going to help us. We get supported by great audience members and each other, and that's all we got.
So let me first ask, where are you from?
Oh, okay.
Let's start way back. Baby Nerdrotic.
Oh boy. Well, I'm from San Diego, California.
So you're from California?
Yeah, I am from California, born and raised.
Okay. And were you living there your whole life before you just moved, or?
Yeah. Never thought I'd leave. Never thought I'd leave. And I lived kind of all over. I lived most of my life in San Diego. Okay. And then I moved, childhood, got most of my trouble up there, and then moved up to San Francisco, to for a woman, and lived in LA for a couple of years. Yeah. So, but I never thought I'd leave. Yeah. I was just talking about that to my wife last night. It's like, man, I didn't see leaving California for political reasons as the reason I would leave.
Yeah.
You asked me that 10 years ago, 5 years ago, I'd have said you're crazy, but that's exactly why I left.
Wow. I've been to San Diego. San Diego is nice. It's one of the cooler places out in California. I mean, even San Francisco's got its nice spots, but man, California, oof. So you've seen the change, I'm assuming, right? I mean,
yeah, it's nothing like where I grew up before.
Yeah.
When I was young, it was a very red state. There were pockets of it was very even, for a long time. There was a lot of balance there. You get a Republican, Democrat once in a while, and politics, rarely interfered in your life. But I'm old, so I remember the Carter years, and that's what I feel like we're in. It feels like a repeat of that, the late 70s, early 80s.
What is, I hear that a lot, the new Biden's the new Carter. Now, I was born in the 80s, so I don't know. I don't know what the Carter era means, Carter administration. Like, why is it comparable?
Inflation,
Okay.
high crime.
Mm.
The again, I was like 7, 8, 9 at the time, but I certainly listened to my dad and watched and paid a little bit of attention to news. And I went to New York when I was in 1979 when I was a little 9-year-old, and there was a garbage strike. There's freaking
Oh gosh.
everywhere.
Oh no.
Everywhere, hookers everywhere. And San Diego wasn't great either. You didn't go down to downtown San Diego because it was a Navy town, so there was a bunch of hookers. But like crime, there was a massive crime wave. I sat in my car like a lot of Generation X kids did for hours in a line, in a gas line. If your license plate ended with an odd or even number, that's what day you went and got gas.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was pathetic. It was pathetic. And like I would, I just looking back, I would say probably Biden's much worse than Carter. Like Carter was bad. Carter was terrible.
Yeah.
At least he built houses for the poor later on. He tried to do something. I can't see Biden doing that.
Well, he's releasing 1 million barrels a day.
Oh,
for the country, which is like 5%.
Yeah.
It's like it's like people think they hear that and they're like, "Oh, great. This is going to be fantastic. It's going to drive down prices." No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, it's going to make no difference at all.
It's all manufactured. This is all like manufactured. It's craziness. I was just talking to Jeremy last night about Biden. I'm like, well, if we survive the next 2 years, it'll probably be the best thing that's happened to the country because it really did show like how bad things could get. Because even people who voted for him, whether you say it publicly or not, things are bad.
They know. They know.
And hopefully we get a correction and things aren't corrupt forever. But
I have some things to say about that, but I don't want to sidetrack the conversation.
Sure.
I love the picture that's floating around right now that has the "I did that" sticker with Biden's face, and then below it there's a sheet of paper that says, "Please stop removing these stickers. If you voted for Biden, you should be proud to pay the extra money for this gas."
Yeah.
So it's on you. Like you voted for the guy.
You should be completely okay with it. You're all
exactly.
Do your part. Do your part.
Exactly. So have you always been political? I mean, you said you paid attention to your dad when you're
I mean, like
9-year-old.
I always paid attention to what's going on. I've always been a person who's paid attention to what's going on, but like being hyper political, not really. I mean, I watched the news. I was when I was a kid, I was just getting in trouble all the time. And like we'd have political debates with my friends and stuff, but that's when we were like really high on drugs. So like,
okay,
I wasn't living my best life at that time. So I'm being my smartest. And I went through the whole angry youth, anarchist, punk rock kid thing. And then I did realize I hated communism at a very early age. I just hated the whole concept of it. And like kids in the 80s mostly did, right? That's just what we mostly did there. I'm sure there were, but I saw a lot of it in punk rock. So why I liked the sound and the raw emotion of the music, once I started like really understanding what they were saying, I started gravitating more to metal.
Yeah.
Just because like I'd rather like just be angry or want to go after, about women. And
let me just take out my angst.
Yeah.
Without being told how to, what to think.
I mean, I really like Dead Kennedys and Descendants, and like I was really into those bands, freaking Subhumans and stuff. But once I started like really seeing like, oh my God, these guys are commies. I was like, oh, I like the Ramones now. I just because they were just so not commie. I hated, that's the thing we feared the most, 1984, it was the boogeyman, and we were always under the threat of nuclear annihilation,
right?
And I think that does something to a generation. I mean, we don't think or talk about it that much, and did we really think it was going to happen? Well, we found out later it got really close a couple 3 times, maybe more. And at the time, I honestly, if you put a gun to my head, I'm like, I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't think it's going to happen. So it wasn't, I was scared every second, but it was there. And it was always part of our music, which, for my generation, the internet, our internet was music. Like,
yeah.
but that's what we.
I get that.
That's how we expressed our feelings. We picked our bands. It was more important back then. So that's what kind of guided the culture at the time.
Yeah.
I was also a nerd too. I also read comics when nobody was reading comics, like all my life.
So you've been a comic head for your whole life.
Yeah, since I was like 5.
And how long have you been collecting your incredible amount of figurines?
Oh God.
That's all figures behind you, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Decades. 30 years, something like that.
I'm just gonna pop this. Look
yeah.
at the amount. That's amazing. That's a lot of figurines.
Express it in an artistic manner in my studio. This is like something that's been rolling around my head for years.
How many figures are in there?
Oh, I'm gonna do an official count someday, but
you don't have one?
I don't have one. Thousands. It's thousands.
Wow.
Thousands.
That's pretty cool.
I
have a couple.
So I had a lot of leftover stuff.
Oh yeah, you used to have a store, right? You've spoken about this before.
Once in a while.
Yeah, you mentioned it, but let's kind of keep it chronological. So you're, when you were finding yourself gravitating towards metal music, how old were you at this point?
Oh God,
teenager.
Yeah, it was the punk rock hit first, so metal was like 14, 15, 16.
Okay.
And I mean, I started drinking when I was 12.
What? Seriously?
Yeah.
Damn.
I was drunk every day from 12 pretty much on to when I first quit and got sober. They had these like little Hi-C plastic juice bottles, right? That, it was like a juice box now, but it was just juice bottle, and you could just I could mix in a little vodka. It was easy. I grew up in Southern California, so we had the immigrants, the illegal aliens that were standing in front of 7-Eleven, and he's like, hey, or the liquor store. It's like, you give them $20, you tell them they can keep half if they buy you a bottle of vodka, and it was real easy. It was real easy. Like, so that would keep me going for a while. Then I like graduated from liquor to pot and everything else, and I was just off to the races at a very early age.
Well, how long did that last?
Till I was 20, just turned 22.
Okay, right? So early 20s.
Yeah, so it was like it was from age 12, 13 to 22.
Yeah,
I'd say from 14 on, getting high every day, every single day on everything. And it went from just innocent drinking to
innocent 12-year-old drinking,
12-year-old drinking to cooking meth under bridges,
Wow, like, that deep.
Like, yeah, it went really deep. Really deep.
Wow. So what changed at 22 that made you stop?
Oh, I got arrested.
That would do it.
Yeah. So I was, by the time everything was all over, like I had flamed out of high school. I got kicked out. Like, I joke, but I did technically get kicked out of 3 high schools. So
wow. Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Is that for the drug use or other things?
Drug use and punching a principal on one of them. So
punching a principal. Okay.
Yeah.
Did he deserve it?
I felt, I no regrets, no regrets at all.
No regrets.
Very day.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, he told me the truth. He told me the truth. He said it was something to the effect of, you are a waste of everyone's time. You're a waste of space. You're going to amount to nothing. And I'm like, okay, if I'm going to amount to nothing, fuck you, old man.
Yeah. Wow.
And so it was San Diego High School, Sunset High School, Carlsbad High School. Those are all the high schools I was kicked out of. So
did you eventually finish high school?
I did.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, 10th, halfway through 10th grade was done. And then I had a best friend of mine named JD. He had a house in Encinitas, which was kind of like I don't know if you ever heard of the Crass House in the UK. So it's like this artsy fartsy punk rock house where everybody just lived. It was like a
commune.
Yeah, like a commune. So we had like a kind of unintentional commune.
Okay.
Right? And his dad was an alcoholic, didn't pay much attention. So all the wayward kids just partied at this house all the time. And that's where I lived most of the time, because I was kicked out of the house. My dad was done with me at 15.
Wow.
And I never went back. So I lived on the streets, lived at my friend's house till I got kicked out of there. I mean, long story short, just did lots of drugs, stole a lot of stuff, broke into cars, stole motorcycles, broke into houses,
Wow.
broke into houses with people there and the law tends to not like that one. That's called a prowl. That's very bad. So that's I got popped for, and I'm lucky I didn't die because the guy was there and pulled a gun on me and everything. And
oh wow.
and I already done like a year in county for burglary.
For what? Oh, for burglary. Okay,
First degree burglary.
Wow. All right.
And they dropped other charges. Like I my record's like super long. Lots of drug charges, intent to sell, possession of freaking everything, weapons, all kinds of good stuff.
And this is all in your early 20s.
This is all within 19, 20, 21. This is all like within 3 years.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
I went all in, baby. And yeah, so the final thing was, dude, I had a pocket full of money. I had all the drugs I needed, but I was bored, so I just wanted to go break into houses. And I got caught, and it was the second time, so there's no county jail. Like you're going to prison now. Now you're going to prison. This is your second felony, and this is at the time where they just, 3 strikes just came about. So I went away. I went away for 2.5 years on top of the year I just spent in county. So I spent 3.5 years of my life behind bars.
Wow.
At a very early age. So I went in there as a 22-year-old, which was not fun. It was
I bet
fun. But I survived. I came out unharmed in any way,
good.
Than being in like some fights and stuff and losing like about half of them. So
not a bad ratio, I'd say.
A couple of broken bones, broken orbital, like a chipped orbital bone, nothing. I lost a tooth. It's no big. It's like I feel like I got away pretty light. So
those are real. That's real fights. That's like some serious shit that
I'm just fucking happy it wasn't any of my front teeth. You know what I mean? So I got in the side. Dude, that hurts. By the way, losing a tooth, fucking getting it.
Bet.
That hurts, man. Getting in fights hurts.
I bet.
I don't like it. I'm glad I don't do it anymore. So once I got out of there, I'm like, I am never going back because it was a nightmare. I went to Folsom Prison where Johnny Cash sang the song, and I'm talking the old part. And there was a bunch of political stuff going on, so they were transferring all the really bad people to a prison called Pelican Bay. Now, I arrived at Folsom about 4 months after they finished filming American Me there. So if you ever like the Folsom I was at, just watch that movie. That will, and they were transferring all the level 4s out and the level 2s in. So level 2s are drug offenses, theft, not pretty much like not killing, our wording. I'll just say nothing super bad, no molesters or anything like that, just like thieves and drug addicts.
Right. Is that what tier you were in? Okay.
That's what the tier I was in. Level 4 is like just the worst of the worst.
Okay.
But they were still there. They still mix some of them there. So my cellie was a level 4, and they weren't supposed to do that. So I had a year of just like living through that, living with a guy who killed 2 people for their freaking drugs, for their heroin or whatever.
Wow.
Piece of crap.
Were you cool with him though? Like just to try to keep things, because he was your cellmate. I don't know. You never know.
He was a cellmate, and then like he and I eventually did get in a fight, and I ended up like beating the shit out of him. But I didn't. But dude, there was not anything glorious. It was really something like it was like a totally panicky. Like I thought I was gonna die. I thought like coming after me, I'm like, I'm dead. I am dead. So I just like went all hysterical on him. Like, again, it's not like some like Clint Eastwood fucking fight. No, it's ugly. And I went to the hole for a little while. He got transferred, and then they realized like, you're putting in level 4s and level 2s, and it wasn't the only situation. So before the news got a hold of it, because they were breaking the law, I believe at that time, it's been a while.
Okay.
They got me out of the hole, and then I was in minimum security after that.
Okay.
So like, it worked out for the best. And then like the last year was pretty cruising. Like it wasn't a nightmare all the time. We just had a fence. I mean, I could have escaped if I wanted to. They know that too, but they like you only have a year to go. So why fuck up your entire life?
Exactly.
Plus, there's weights, there's racquetball, the jobs are better.
Okay.
It's like camp, you get a TV,
Free camp.
Yeah, it's free camp that you pay for. So it was pretty chill the last year. I mean, it still sucked, no girls.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Freedom and all,
freedom.
That little thing.
But when I got out, I just said, I'm not going back. Like that was okay. I learned my lesson. It worked. It worked on me. I'm done with this shit. I'm done with this life. I have no skills or anything, but I don't care. I'm not going to go back there. So I took the first job I had. My parents said, you can come and live at the house for a month. Then you got to find your own place. You got to get a job right away. A buddy of mine was the manager at the Warehouse Records. He gave me a part-time job, like right away. Nice. Took a huge flyer on me. I mean, like I was fucking messed up, right? I was just getting sober, but I was also, dealing with the stress of being in prison for 2.5 years. Yeah. And that took a minute to come down from. Okay. It took more than a minute. It took like technically years. I'd have nightmares of being in there. And I'd say probably around 2002 or 3 or 4, that's when the nightmare stopped then. So I haven't had any since then. But I used to not have a full night's sleep since I got out for like 6 or 7 years. I just pop up in the middle of the night thinking I was still there.
Yeah. So, I mean, you had a cellmate that actually killed people, right?
Yeah.
So like that's got to be in the back of your head when you were in there, obviously, and then that residual effects, I couldn't imagine what that would feel like.
Yeah, that's probably the closest to PTSD like I'll ever know. I mean, I don't want to equate it to anything like combat or anything. It was just
right.
It fucks with you. And I was young too. So I was like, really young kid, got out of there. And I just went to meetings. I got my sponsor. I did what I was told. I was totally fucking humbled. And I'm like, and I was grateful for everything. Like the day I got out was like the best fucking day ever. Like I didn't need anything. I didn't want anything. I was just happy to be. Right. Yeah. So I got that job. Yeah. And I'm working at a record store, working at a video department. It was fucking cool. It was totally cool. I'm like, this is rad. I needed a little more money. So I kept that job and I got a parts delivery job. Like this is really mundane shit, but like I was so happy. I'm like,
whatever.
Job that pays $10 an hour. Fuck yeah. I was so happy. And I could drive around and just drop auto parts off at shops,
really and listen to music, right? I mean, that's
music and talk.
That's the beauty of it.
All fucking day.
Talk radio. Okay.
And then I'd hit Toys R Us's up and collect action figures. Right.
Oh, so, okay. And that's when it started, the action figures.
That's when it really kicked in, right?
Because it's like, well, if you're not going to spend money on drugs, you got to like do something, with just to give yourself that boost, right? So it became action figures. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
And my mentality at the time, and it still is this way, is like I knew I wasn't going to college. I knew I wasn't going to make $100,000 a year. I knew I wasn't going to be some executive or whatever dreams I had as a kid. And I was fine. I was like so glad to be out of prison. I'm like, I'm okay with being, if I'm going to be a parts delivery guy the rest of my life, I'm okay. That's fine. That's better than dead. Because what I thought I was going to be. And because of that, I never felt like I was competing against anybody. It was like a really good mental space for me. Like there wasn't a ton of stress. I was working around people who were just fucking miserable, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I love this job.
You have no idea how good this job is. All right. Trust me.
I was just getting $1 a day for either when I was in jail for fighting fires, or when I was in prison, I was typing up like drug orders. That's a whole story by itself. We don't have the time, but I was surrounded. I mean, it wasn't bad. I was surrounded by women. So it was like the one time I was surrounded by a bunch of women, but I was like this one lady's like boy toy. Cause I was young. Okay. So I was young and in shape, and I was some 40-year-old woman's secretary boy toy, basically, that she would with all the time and stuff. And I'd act like I didn't understand, it's like, whoa, just trying to blow it off and just keep her away. You know,
so what you're telling me is she wasn't attractive at all.
No, how bad is it going to be when you're in prison?
You're like,
I'll wait a year.
What's going on here?
Cool. Yeah. I was like, it's only a year. I'll be fine.
I'm almost out of this place. Yeah. So this is the real reason why jail was so hellish.
Yes. So
waking up in the middle of the night, and you're looking over. Oh, she's not in bed. It's not her. All right, good.
So long story short, I was going to meetings. I met my first wife. Now, Melissa, who I'm with now, I knew back in the day. So we dated in high school. She partied with me at my friend Judy's house.
Sorry, preschool?
High school. High school.
We
met in junior high. We met in junior high. We met in 1985.
Wow, awesome. Okay.
So I've known her for years.
Go way back.
Years and years and years and years and years. We were friends, breaking up on and off, but we always ended up back together. But then I went to prison. When I got out, we kind of lost track of each other for a few years, right? So she got married to somebody else. I got married to somebody else. And it was fine for a while, but it just never meshed. You know, you got to have more in common than recovery, which is pretty much me and my first wife. That's all we had.
Okay.
Not his fault. Like she was cool and everything. Sure. It just didn't work out, you know, sad, but that's the way it goes. So, I just lived pretty mundane life. And I was fine with that. I was completely okay with I went from delivering auto parts to selling them. And that was the thing. I'm like, then I learned a legitimate skill that could get me a job in other places. And I was super happy.
Yeah.
And along the way, it was mainly men. There's a couple of women, but it was mainly men who, through either recovery or just taking a flyer at me at work, just gave me a chance, saw something in me and we're going to give you a chance, even though you have no experience. And there's been 3 or 4 really pivotal dudes in my life that gave me that chance. I'm eternally grateful for. And then I felt like I owed them some, so I worked my ass off for them because they took this flyer out on this guy with a felony.
Yeah.
And I'm again eternally grateful for these people for giving me a chance when a lot of people would not because of that. And I did not let them down. I worked my butt off, worked my way up, and it was up until my divorce. And again, it was just irreconcilable differences. We drifted apart, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I started talking to Melissa again. She found me on classmates.com. So this is before
classmates.com. Okay.
Yes, before Facebook and MySpace, there was classmate.com where you signed up and people could see what high school you went to, which was always weird for me because I'm like, I guess I'll do the first one.
Which one do I put? I was in 3.
I did the first one because that's the one I was there the longest, and she found me and we started emailing, just being friends,
Sure.
And eventually it got to be more. So I moved up to San Francisco.
So you moved to San Francisco for your now wife.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was totally a worth it move then.
Yeah. I mean, I never thought I'd leave San Diego. I freaking love San Diego. I love San Diego. And San Francisco I visited and I was like, yeah, it's cool. It's all right. It wasn't my favorite city in the world. Didn't hate it. And when I moved up there, it was fine. It was fine.
Yeah.
I got used to it. I'm not crazy about urban big city living. I'm a suburban kid,
Okay.
I grew up, and that's why I like somewhat kind of country-ish suburban.
Right. Okay. The outskirts of the suburbs where there's still a forest nearby.
Yeah. Or a desert or something I can go off-roading in or ride my bike or whatever. Something, just run around, get in trouble.
Yeah.
Like when I got in trouble. And so we lived up there. We got a little apartment in the Fillmore.
I've heard of it. I've heard of the Fillmore.
Well, it was right down from the famous Fillmore where Grateful Dead played and Joe Rogan. I saw Joe Rogan do a stand-up there before his podcast many moons ago.
Wow. Okay.
Early Rogan when he was just known as a comedian.
Yeah.
Instead
of this far right,
instead of the
conspiracy theorist
that he is now.
Right.
Back when he had some hair. And we got married, we got a house, kids, the whole 9 yards, bought a comic store, ran the comic store. The comic store was lots of fun. It was just on a whim. I was working at Oakland Acura, hated working in Oakland, fucking hated Oakland, cannot stand that city. I almost got carjacked there one time. I did the very smart thing of like having my cars locked and just driving through the red light while somebody was hanging onto my door.
Wow, that happened to you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I would have run that fucker over if I had a chance, but I didn't.
Damn.
And yeah, so I was reading the paper one day and I saw that somebody was selling a comic collection, a huge comic collection. I'm like, I think I'm going to buy it for my comic store that I'm going to have in my retirement. Long story short, I buy the comic collection. This person says, hey, there's a comic store for sale. If you want to buy one right now, it's the one you currently go to. And I'm like, you're kidding me, right? So I talked to the owner. Another long story short, we have some pizza. We decide on a price. I vastly overpay him for his shop. He's gone. I'm in, and I'm happy for 10 years. And things are going great. But then, and then I went.
What year is it now? Where are we at right now?
We're at 2003, where I bought the store, where I started the store. 2003, didn't know shit about running a business. I read half of Small Business for Dummies.
Okay.
Which is
I think I've read enough. I'm good now.
Yeah, I got it. And I had some help. I called. I had a couple of mentors who kind of looked over and helped me a lot. And Jamie Newbold being one of them from Southern California Comics. I'm forever grateful to him. And yeah, so started the shop and really put my all into it, and it did very well. It was never going to like pay the bills, and like my wife is a hairdresser. So the reason I moved to San Francisco is because she made a lot more money than me. So it wouldn't be right for me to ask her to move down and give up her career where she's lucrative career, very, very lucrative career for somebody who could just sell auto parts anywhere. So I just decided to move up, and that's why I moved up. That was the whole basis of it. Is she made boatloads more than I did.
Okay.
And she was a very successful hair stylist. She worked for the biggest salon in San Francisco. Then she went out and bought her own salon. A little bit inspired by me by getting my own business. She's like, that looks fun. I'm going to do it. And plus I hate working for, like, she didn't like her boss, Kim Todd from DiPietro Todd. It's no secret. So she did. But my wife had big clientele, like in tech, CEOs, Tom Brady's mom, like big time clients.
But has she ever done Nancy Pelosi's hair?
No, but she's done Gavin Newsom's.
Okay.
Yes,
that's funny.
Yes, I went back when he was a mayor. Oh God, I walked by the guy too. If I only knew.
I would have just went back to my old ways.
Just for a minute. Metaphorically, of course, for the internet.
Yes,
for a minute.
Physically.
I could go back in time and metaphorically shake somebody.
It would have been that man. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Make a shiv. So she's doing well. I'm doing well, but and I'll go quickly through this because it kind of sucked. But the comic thing was really good, successful, completely went to my head. I thought I was just the shit. I just thought I was the shit. And that is the worst place to be when you are a recovering alcoholic and addict. That's what did Denzel say to Will Smith? What did he say to him? I'm going to paraphrase what he said. He said, the devil comes for you at your highest moment. Basically, that's a recovery saying. Okay. The most dangerous time for an addict is when he's successful. Yeah. Right. And they start thinking, well, I don't need to go to meetings anymore. I got this shit figured out. That's where I was at, complete, like, just recipe for failure. So I fell off the wagon, and it was accidental. Like, I got injured. I crushed my thumb. So stupid little injury. Okay. And the emergency room gave me some Vicodins. Boom, off to the races. Just absolutely off to the races after that. Like after the first one. So fell off the wagon, had to clean up, had to sell the store to save my life. So I'm like, it sucked, but that's what we had to do. So I went back on the wagon, right? Went back to meetings, started over again.
How long did that take after you fell off?
Oh man.
Like it was a long process, or did it happen kind of quickly?
It happened pretty quickly. It was like 2.5 year period. But I mean, like, it's called a progressive disease for a reason. Alcohol and drug addiction is a progressive disease. What they mean by that is, if you quit, say you're a cocaine addict, and you quit in 2005, and you pick it up today, it will be as if you have been doing coke that whole time.
The whole time.
You basically pick up like you've been doing coke the whole time. So you'll start out small, but within a very, very short amount of time, you will be doing the amount of coke you would be doing if you had done it for that much time. That's what they mean by progressive disease. And that is an absolute truth. It's an absolute truth. I just dived into it, and it just was so fast. So fast. So lucky I'm alive. Got out of it. And when I sold the shop, I was really bummed. I was bummed. It cost me my shop. It did.
Yeah.
Damn near cost me my marriage, everything else, but that worked out. So I started up from scratch. I worked at an O'Reilly's Auto Part, made $12 an hour, worked my way back up through auto parts again, right? To get back on my feet. And I wasn't like happy about it. Like, I was very disgruntled and grumpy for the first couple of years, very hard to be around, but I started this little podcast on my like fourth day sober in a Starbucks in San Francisco with a friend of mine, just to keep talking about comics. I want to stay in touch with the nerd thing. So that's my favorite part about, a comic story. Every day I just went to work and just did what I do now all day.
Yeah.
Just talk to friends, sell comic books, talk shit about the bad ones, sell the good ones. It's kind of what I do now.
Right. Exactly.
And, like, there's so many stories. I don't want to, with the comic stores, there's so many stories that go with that, but that'll probably for another day. I won Best of the Bay one year. I did one Best of the Bay in 2000.
What is that? What's Best of the Bay?
San Francisco Chronicle does a Best of the Bay. So like best hair salon, best best restaurant. I won best comic shop in the entire Bay Area for 2000. Cool. Yeah, that was fun. That was an achievement.
Yeah.
So sold it, started doing podcasting. Never thought like this would happen. It was just purely going to be for fun. Never thought that 10 people would ever listen to me. Just like, I'm going to do this because it's a hobby and it's fun. And that's how it started for many years. I've been like on YouTube for 8 years. So I started in 2014. We're at 2014 now. I started doing like 2 audio podcasts that were on, was it Audacity when it was still around? I think it was Audacity. It's not around anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't. No, it's not Audacity. Sorry, take that. It was podcast.com. Podcast.com. Very simple. And it's gone now. Why did I say Audacity? That's what I recorded on. It was podcast.com. Then I went to SoundCloud. And then we started I figured out how to put it on iTunes through my website. I just started a WordPress website. And then we started backing stuff up on YouTube. And then we decided, hey, it's a lot easier to record because I didn't even know what the hell I was doing. Yeah. So we would like record separately with Audacity, and I'd have to put the 2 tracks together. Like, I had no idea what I was doing. But then we discovered YouTube live streaming, and like, hey, this is a much better way to record through Hangouts.
Yeah.
And little did I know people were watching. I never thought people would watch. Right. So all of a sudden, like months into it, I've heard from this guy going, dude, I have been trying to talk to you in chat for months. I'm like, what are you talking? What chat?
What's chat?
Chat?
Oh, wow.
And I look and there's freaking people in there. I'm like, holy shit. How long have you been watching us? This is ridiculous.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So I love that too, because that is doing a YouTube show because you love doing it. I hear all these young YouTubers that are like, why isn't anyone watching my channel? It's because you're doing YouTube to get viewers to watch you, not because you want to talk about something that you're interested in, right? And it's such a travesty where people think that that's all they need is just do it. And then it's like, you got to have a passion for what you're talking about. And that's very clearly what you have, is a passion for comics.
Oh yeah. And pop culture, like that. We were talking about comics, movies, TV shows. We started reviewing TV shows, and yeah, people started watching, and it just grew. And there's like 5, I guess, points that kind of grew my channel. Right. So the first small one was The Expanse, when The Expanse TV show got canceled from Sci-Fi. It gave me a little bump. Star Trek Discovery.
Ugh.
sucking. That gave me a little bump. The big bump came from Doctor Who, and then Game of Thrones, and then I guess you could. There's a lot of little stuff in there too, but we're talking about like major surges in the channel. And then there was just recently Lord of the Rings. So you could throw in Star Wars too, Rise of Skywalker in there with those. So maybe 6 points where my channel just had orders of magnitude would double, triple, and I can't explain it to this day. It feels like I've won the lottery, although I worked very hard to do it. I was very dedicated at this, and my wife will tell the story where, I approached the podcast when nobody was watching the same way I approach it right now. I did it with diligence and research, and because I freaking love it. It's great. It's awesome.
Well, Critical Drinker said it earlier when you were on his show earlier, and you guys were talking about how these other sites are jealous of you guys because people are flocking to you, but it's because you guys care about it and you're saying what everyone thinks. So it's not surprising to me at all that people watch your channel and appreciate your viewpoint because you love quality stuff and you're passionate about it. And it's like those two things combined means you're going to get an honest opinion. If something's shit and you say it's shit, it's like, all right, well, it's probably shit. So
I'm not always right. Nobody is, of course. But yes, I will always be honest. And it doesn't matter to me either way. I'm fine.
Yeah.
If something's good, I'm fine. I'm okay with that. That's great. That's actually really good. My positive reviews just do just as well as the negative ones. And believe me, for ad money and everything else on YouTube, it would be much easier to like everything. Liking everything is the easy way to go. It's the smarter way to go. Quite frankly, if you're just talking about shekels and money, you make a lot more that way.
So fence sitting, if you will. You're just kind of towing the line without taking a direct stance, or just always saying the grass is so green over here. You should always check it out.
Yeah, I can't do that. I can't. I guess it might work for some people. I don't know if that works. Yeah, it does work quite well in entertainment, quite frankly. I just can't do that. I can't.
Yeah, sure. The big companies will help boost you up more. They're like, oh, this person's saying we're great. Let's actually bring them to the forefront because that's what we want everyone to see.
Yeah. I like loving Disney would be fantastic for a lot of channels. I can't, especially now. It's so freaking dark where they have gone, dude. It is. I didn't think I'd be talking about this,
yeah, I don't recognize Disney anymore.
No.
Yeah, they're not the same, and they really aren't, because even Disney himself, he's like, we've got good American people working here. We are against communism, and all of the people that work for me can't stand commies, and we're trying our best to keep it out of Disney. And it's like, bravo, good sir, bravo. Like that's almost the opposite of where the company's at now.
Yeah, as somebody, I am not quote unquote a conservative or a Republican, right? I'm an independent. That's all I am. That's all I ever been.
Like it.
But I don't know how a conservative or a Republican could work for there. I don't know how you could feel welcome. It's horrible what's happened to them, right? Again, don't agree with them all the time, but they have the demonization I've seen of the conservative, of the Christian. Again, not even a Christian, but like, I don't need to be to have empathy for my fellow man and see, like, when I'm seeing real discrimination and seeing this pendulum swing, and all of a sudden it's just okay to persecute people.
Didn't you hear, though, that the conservatives at Disney, they wrote a strongly worded letter?
Well, that's good. And that's their own worst enemy. That's the thing. Like, I'm going to call it, like I put out a tweet today. I've seen a lot of pundits. I was talking to Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers about this. Hail, Jeremy. Last night, how strange it is that we're seeing like pundits now, like normie pundits, talk about what Disney's doing, like saying shit that we've been saying for years. And that's great. It is great to see. Where the hell have you been? We have been talking about this for years. You've had this blind spot. You didn't respect it. You said, it's silly. playing games or being into pop culture. That's always been the left. No, it hasn't. It's very important to our culture. They vastly underestimated how much influence it had, how important it was. It's been a massive blind spot, and I'm talking in particular for the pundits. I know there's a lot of people on the right who have liked entertainment and seen this for a long time. I'm not talking about you.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the pundits who could have made people aware of this years ago, but instead we're liking some of this shit back and going after us. Like some of them gone after us for calling this shit out and saying that we're going too far. And now you're saying something. Well, it's fucking too late.
Give me an example of a normie pundit. Like, who are you referring to right now?
I am referring to who is the here, I'll get her name on Fox. I just saw her talking to a conservative Disney employee.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just brain farting.
That's all good.
Fox News. Her name was Laura, something like it.
Laura Ingraham.
Laura Ingraham. I saw Laura Ingraham talking about this shit, right? And like that's like Rhino Normie Laura Ingraham to me. Like that's somebody I remember listening to her a while back. Like, dude, I listen to a lot of people. I listen to Art Bell. I listened to Jim Rome. I listened to Michael Savage was out of San Francisco, and that guy was. I loved Michael Savage. I did. Back in the day, I listened to everybody. Right. There's a libertarian station that I listened to called Armstrong and Getty out of the Bay Area. That was really good. Those are the main guys I listened to before I got into the YouTube thing. But yeah, seeing Laura Ingraham calling out Disney. Woke Disney, seeing like Sean Hannity call out woke Disney, and even getting into seeing Ben Shapiro, to his credit, would get into pop culture once in a while, but not enough. Or Paul Joseph Watson, his take on it, or Gavin McGinnis, both of those guys don't respect video games. I like some of the stuff they say, but I hate their fucking takes on video games. I think they're just fucking dead wrong on that shit.
Yeah.
And I think it's been a blind spot, and we've abandoned, common sense people have abandoned too much shit. We abandoned education. We abandoned pop culture. We've let the fucking inmates infiltrate and run the asylum, and a lot of them just black-pilled, said, oh well, what you gonna do? We're gonna go create our own space, which might be the answer, but giving up completely on an institution that's entrenched in our culture, that's not going to go away overnight, can still do tons of fucking damage, is not the way either. Create your other thing, call this shit out. We got to fight it tooth and nail. And yes, we got to fight it through pop culture.
Matt Walsh was he had a video that came out today, and he was referring to a conversation that he said something to him like, how dare you not understand what the Republicans who voted against this ridiculous anti-lynching bill, which it's been illegal forever, but it's like this big virtue signal, and it's like they're only doing it because it's a virtue signal. It's not. It was already illegal. It doesn't make any sense. And Matt Walsh was like, "Bravo to the 3 Republicans who didn't do it," because and the other person was like, well, what were you expecting these other Republicans to do? That the media just wants them to use them. And it's like, you have to stand up for your morals and your principles. And it's like them giving up. Like you were kind of mentioning, everything you just said, it applies to so much more than just, to everything. Everyone's given up. It's like, meh, you know what I mean? It feels like you're either, I have no choice, I can't make a difference, or you're thinking someone else will fix it.
Yes.
I can't do it. It's like, that's never going to work.
Never. And we as a country, I think, had a mentality that Daddy Trump's going to come fix everything. Daddy DeSantis is going to come fix it. No, they're not. They're not.
Exactly.
Not going to be able to. We
absolutely have to
right. We were just talking in the live stream, the Tolkien live stream. We were talking about all the people who died in world wars for our freedom, right? Just got their arms and legs blown off, their intestines fucking blown off. So we could bitch on the internet and be non-binary. It's our turn to fight for our freedom. And it might be an actual fight. I'd like to avoid that. I very much so. I'm not the kind of person who thinks we're going to devolve into a civil war and super black pill, but I think we need to start going to city council meetings, start going to school board meetings,
yes,
paying attention to like that's the hey, I made that mistake too. That I am just as guilty as anybody else.
Me
wasn't
too.
wasn't paying attention to what my kids were going through in school and stuff. And then, once COVID hit, I got to see the Zoom school sessions and got to see like what San Francisco's school system was doing. I'm like, oh, he's out. Boom.
Yeah.
Pulled.
Wow.
Yeah. So
what were you seeing?
The one that pushed me over the edge was a creative writing assignment that my son was given that was supposed to be about his white privilege, my special needs son, my autistic son's white privilege.
Wow.
So I gave the teacher a ass chewing, and that was it.
Wow.
So
yeah, that's ridiculous. How many kids do you have?
I have two
kids.
I have they're old now. I mean, I've got an adult son and a teenage son. So
okay. And these are both with Melissa, I believe you said her name was Melissa.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right on. So when did you start Friday Night Tights? When did that show start?
Oh, that started in, technically 2017. I started doing a Friday show, but we didn't call it Friday Night Tights. So like I was doing a regular Friday show even way back then. I think our first episode was after the first episode of The Punisher season 1. That was my first Friday show. It was a couple of years before it turned into Friday Night Tights. We went through multiple hosts. I would say Comics Division came on in 2018. And we had been friends for a long time. But Comics Division and I met in the live streams of early Comicsgate. Very beginning of Comicsgate with I Love Comics, England teen Richard from Diversity in Comics, Captain Cummings, Doug Ernst, like real early days.
Okay.
And this is when I started paying more attention to YouTube because like I saw a little bit of this, like the woke shit coming in, but I never thought it would get this bad. Then all of a sudden I saw a couple of videos. I'm like, whoa, because I stopped reading comics for about 6 months. I needed a break.
Yeah.
And like it changed. Like
in 6 months.
In 6 months, it changed so drastically. Now I had not noticed it because I was in it. But like once you took that 6 months off and you saw the drastic change, well, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And then, the Captain Marvel stuff started happening. So long story short, I got inspired by those guys, started doing the Friday live stream. We decided in Comic-Con 2019, Odin from OMB Reviews and I had a conversation about like, hey, let's do a regular Friday show. We'll bring on some Geeks and Gamers people. We'll make it a Nerdrotic Geeks and Gamers thing. And we'll just rotate Geeks and Gamers. Jeremy will come on the first episode because he doesn't like live streaming. And then he's going to take off after that. He hasn't left since, by the way.
Now you can't get rid of him.
I can't get rid of the motherfucker. Yeah. So as time progressed, we just started adding people, and it started out as basically Odin, Comics, Jeremy, me, Drunk 3PO would come on once in a while. We'd have a rando guest come on once in a while and just kind of rotate it out. But that the team started getting a little more solid. And it was about, I'd say, I think it's going on 2 years now. Critical Drinker came on and Az came on.
Where'd you meet Az?
I met Az through Doctor Who live streams after the season finale of season 12 of Doctor Who was like a cultural moment. If you're not a Doctor Who fan, you're not going to know, but
I'm not really. I know that they changed her gender. She's now was a woman, and there was like a big moment. Is that time, or
it's that time, but they made it worse, right? It's not just like, because the Doctor can regenerate into different bodies. So they said, well, this time he's going to regenerate into a woman. Because there's no difference between men and women. There's absolutely no difference except for ovaries.
Sure.
But they not only did that, they went back retroactively and changed his 50-year history.
Oh.
And so there was a first Doctor. There's been I don't count the first female Doctor played by Jodie Whittaker. as a doctor. I don't. So there's 12 doctors and a war doctor. But the first doctor was William Hartnell. And he's fucking beloved. The UK loves Doctor Who like more than we love football. Okay. Like that it's part it's
all right, that's a lot.
It's ingrained in their culture. Yeah, it's part of not everybody, but most of the country. I mean, it's a cultural icon. They get millions of people even watching the shitty episodes. So William Hartnell's the first Doctor. They decided to change that and make the first Doctor a little black girl. And it's and they just did it out of wokeness. There was no effort put into it. Pissed off the fandom. Like it was fucking. So that's how I met Az. I saw this guy doing videos and like he put like it's so funny. He put zero effort into the thumbnails, which was great. He do a dry erase board and just put it up. And I'm like, guy gives no fucks. I like him. And
oh man,
I saw this British guy fucking just screaming, like speaking my language of Doctor Who, and somebody said we should live stream. I'm like, fuck yeah. We'd live stream once, and I'm like, oh, this dude is good. He's funny.
Yeah, he is
funny. So we bought him on Friday Night Tights, and it was an instant click, and he was like the final piece of the puzzle, right? So Critical Drinker coming on, and then Mahler came on right after that for the second show, and they'd been on before, but they like leveled the show up. Like more people were tuning in. So we had myself, we had Jeremy, we had Az. Ryan started coming in within a few months. We had Odin, we had Comics Division, and then this guy named Perry Chan was like memes of us. Like,
Hail Perry Chan.
Hail Perry Chan. And you know, all of a sudden we started using the memes as intros, and I'm like, hey, dude, I mean, I will give you money to make intros. Would you like to make money doing intros for your show? And Perry wisely said, yes, sir, I would like to make money doing intros for your show. And I pay Perry very fair, by the way. I'm like, I think like what he does is special. He is an absolute fucking genius.
He's so good.
He is brilliant. There's a lot like Lofty Pixels is awesome. I mean, there's a lot of really good people out there.
There's some new guys on the up and coming. Superman, I see you.
Oh yeah. The Uber Geek, Renee. These are like fantastic. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not naming everybody. Like Friday Night Tights is the sum of all its parts. It's the audience is the most important part of the show. I don't just say that for bullshit. The chat's so fuck funny.
Yeah, they are.
We got like the best and fastest memers, and this is all part of another audience. It's not just our audience. This is a shared audience with geeks and gamers, Az Ryan, and then you know Mahler's like, I don't want to ruin his reputation. Mahler and Critical Drinker are two of the best people I know on the internet. They're like really nice people, really good people. So is Rags and Fringy, and we got the EFAP people who come over and check us out too, and they're brilliant as well. We've all got our own thing going that's really cool, and we don't like step on each other. We're not competing. We're friends. I watch their stuff. Like I'm a viewer. I watch damn near all of EFAP. It's my Saturday usually, so like, it's been really like this really, it has been perfect. Okay. But it's this really cool thing that came together. Then Chrissy came in, I needed
shout out to Chrissy.
Shout out to Chrissy Mayer's. Quartering invited me on a stream for there was some big event. Gosh darn it. Maybe it was Gina Carano getting fired. I think that was it. I think it was Gina Carano getting fired, and Quartering like said Avengers Assemble and got a bunch of people on a stream, and it was lots of fun. And I met Chrissy Mayer. I'm like, damn, she's funny. And then I'm like, oh, I know her. She's on Compound Media. And because I'm a Compound Media subscriber, I'm a huge Anthony Cumia fan, like big time old Opie and Anthony fan.
Okay.
And I've always liked Anthony more than I liked Opie. So I'm like one of the few guys who's happy he's like just solo without him. So so that long, and that's what it's turned into. And it was nothing ever planned. It's like, hey, the show was just on Friday at the same time. We talk about pop culture. We spend most of the time giving each other shit.
And introducing each other.
And introducing each other for hours.
Over every week.
Every week. Every time Adam Crigler gets a strike, he gets invited on the show. So you must be
with rare exception for tomorrow. I mean,
not well. There's still time, buddy.
The show's not over yet. YouTube just cuts the show off right now. I'm like, well, there's tradition.
No, but I mean, we've like it's helped that we've had some like brilliant guests like yourself.
Thank you.
And aforementioned Critical Drinker, Mahler. We've had Anthony Kumi on. We've had Alex Jones on. That was surreal,
Huge.
dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely surreal to have him on. And yeah, like it's just really come together and it's been a ton of fun. And it should be just a complete shit show. There's like 9 of us at one point. Somehow we manage it because like that's usually pretty terrible. Like so but we're having fun and we're laughing most of the time. And I think it just through COVID, when a lot of people were stuck at home.
Right.
I think our job was just to like, let's make people laugh and let's make fun of like really dumb things. And Hollywood provides like weekly. Oh my God, this is the week. This week has been
this week. I know.
Unbelievable.
Well, I'm really glad that you got Quarter Black Garrett involved because man, I love that guy. He is hilarious. He fits in very well, and it's an X-ray girl as well. She's fantastic. Really, you know what the best thing about your show, I mean, you said it, it's like you didn't plan it, right? It came together authentically, and it's so obvious how authentic all of you are being. There's no script. You guys are just meeting together. It's a bunch of funny people, and it's kind of like there is no competition, like you mentioned. It's a bunch of comedians. Like, you don't want to win in comedy. Winning is making people laugh, right? In comedy, if you can make someone laugh, you're winning. It's not like they're laughing harder than this other comedian. It's it's the same kind of thing. You guys are all doing such a great job of just not all the time it's positive, but for the most part, well, because some subjects you guys tackle are a little more serious, but
they're serious, and there's drama. Like dramas happen before. I try to avoid it as much as possible, but like as I've given this analogy before, I tried to avoid every fight in prison. Sometimes you just can't.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I've been free of that. But yeah, like we push each other creatively, right? And we root for each other. Quite frankly, like I think like Ryan is a rising star. Like I think Ryan Kinnell is pass me up. I think Josiah Rises is going to pass me up the way they do.
Josiah's cool, man.
Yeah, he's a good kid. I love that kid.
I like him. And
I hope they do. I hope they do. I don't care if they have more subs. I don't give a shit. It does not matter in any way, shape, or form. I'm having fun. I'm very happy in what I'm doing and my own thing here. And having Quarter Black come aboard. Believe me, I asked him, folks, a lot. I asked him. I'll probably ask him again tonight. Are you sure you made the right decision? Like Crowder's a good gig. That's I'm a Mug Club member. I watched that stuff and like but he keeps on saying and he's great.
I think he's happy. I think he's happier. I
hope so. I'm super happy with him
because we started our Wednesday show. He comes on this show on Wednesdays for 1/8 Wednesdays, and he was doing it. We were doing that before it all went down, where it shifted to then he was like, I'm putting him at 2 weeks. I knew before it actually went down, so I was like, felt like I was on the inside. I was like, yeah, but I could tell that he was happier. He started doing his own channel more, his Let's Talk on Wednesday nights, just streaming more games. He just felt more free. And I like that feeling of freedom, I definitely know that too. Like I felt like I was set free. And I've never been happier. I've never been happier doing what I'm doing. So
I like probably got to work on I'm still working on things. Especially a schedule, but we're never going to have like a really hardcore one. Like, I don't see a day where like anybody's going to have to get a lunch pail and get to work at 6 a.m. That's just not on these parts.
Yeah.
But I think it's working. I got to balance it out. I got to make sure I don't burn the guys out and don't burn myself out. But like, they're doing great. Like, X-Ray Girl's great at what she does. She's really fun and smart. And I'm very happy with the crew we have. They get along. They're no trouble at all. They're really, and they're there because they're really good at what they do.
Yeah. So speaking of freedom, you recently moved to Texas.
Yes.
I have two questions. First one, what was the final straw? What happened that made you finally go, that's it, I'm out?
The riots.
The riots, 2020, Summer of Love.
20 riots, Summer of Love.
Yep. I get it.
Yep. I saw our country breaking down in a way I had never seen before, and it happened in the city I was in. I saw people not getting arrested. I saw them denying what was going on. I saw calling for defunding the police, and like, I am not an uber police fan. Okay. I'm not like rah cops. I think they there's a lot. I think they're just like normal people. There's some good ones. If you're a good one, you got my support. If you're a bad one, you're a piece of shit. That's the way it goes. But I don't think we should undermine the whole system.
Right.
Because there's a very, it was clear, dude, it's an organized temper tantrum, but it was organized. I saw the bricks being delivered in Dallas. I saw all that shit happen. I was watching InfoWars. Say what you want about InfoWars. They cut a lot of shit that nobody else would show. So It was clear people were getting bussed in, and it was being allowed. I saw it with my own eyes. I'm like, that's it. I'm done. In California. But I mean, what preceded that was the lockdowns and destroying my wife's business.
Right.
So, and once we saw that happen, coupled with the riots, right afterwards, we're like, goodbye. We're done. We're going to retire. My wife was close to retirement. She still probably had a few more years left, and it sucks. She just had her best year ever. Right up until the moment we closed down, March 16th, 2020. I'll never forget it. That she was going to reopen again. San Francisco kept on doing we're going to reopen, we're going to close. We're going to reopen, but 5%. We're going to reopen and close. We're going to reopen at 20% and 15%. They kept on doing this bullshit when nobody was getting sick in San Francisco. Nobody was getting sick. Nobody was dying. Nothing was happening. And this is San Francisco in the winter, right? So it was clear it was bullshit. It was all bullshit to me. That's my opinion. I mean, COVID was real. We were going to have to live with it. People were going to get sick, and most likely you were going to be okay.
Yeah.
We didn't need to shut down there was something we could have done, but unfortunately it happened in an election year. It got politicized, and a lot of people lost their livelihoods and their businesses because of that. Yeah. And that was the moment, not that I ever voted Democrat or voted that much, but I will never vote Democrat again, ever. That's it. Fuck that. I lived in a fucking Democratic run state, a Democratic run city, and they destroyed my wife's business. I will never forgive them for that.
Yeah, you were in the belly of the beast. I feel like San Francisco is one of like the pinpoints of Antifa. I think they've got like a base there, and
oh
man, Jesus. Nancy Pelosi. Wait, was Gavin Newsom the mayor of San Francisco?
Yes, he was. I was there when he was the mayor. I was there when he was a shitty mayor, and he was a shitty lieutenant governor, and he's a shitty governor. I can't believe there was a time in California where having a San Francisco mayor be governor would be laughed out of the room. Like, Harvey Milk was fucking governor. What? What? Like anybody from San Francisco being mayor or governor would just be considered silly. We already lived. I mean, but then Jerry Brown gets like another go, and like that's when I knew things were going insane, right?
Yeah. Californians had their chance to get rid of them.
Gavin,
I don't understand that at all.
Mail-in ballots. They became the law of the land.
Yeah, that's a conversation that I've talked about many times on this show, which landed me right onto your show on Fridays. Yeah. So we'll go on to my next question. How is Texas?
It's freaking great.
Yeah,
it's great. I haven't even gotten any dirty looks. I haven't changed my license plates yet. I haven't even got my Texas license yet. I'm going to probably do that next week. But No, everybody's been really nice. It's really free. There's a couple people wear masks that, if you really want to, okay. But it's
Sure.
absolutely open. It's normal. And the gas price, like it's expensive for Texans, but it's like pretty much where it was at in California when I left.
Oh, okay. So it
I
feels
don't
the
know.
same almost.
Feels kind of the same. It's like $4 a gallon. Uh,
Oof.
you know.
Jeez.
Oh, dude, it's like 6 and 7 in
I
California.
know. Yeah, my buddy Darth Call lives in Hollywood, and he sent me a picture, and it was like 750 something, $9 for the premium or diesel or something. I don't know why diesel is more expensive, but it used to be cheaper when I was younger.
It used to be cheaper, but there's so many environmental restrictions on it now because of particulates.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Just gotta make more money off of it.
Yep. It doesn't really reduce anything from the environment. They just make more money off it. Yeah,
Exactly. Cool. All right. Well, that's
Texas
great.
is rad. No state tax. Like
That's gotta be nice.
no small business tax, because there's a California small business tax, there's a California income tax, there's a California state tax. I'm not going to miss any of those things. No, it's like saving 50% off life when you move here from California.
That's
Uh,
pretty huge.
it's
That's
really
pretty
huge,
Yeah, that's pretty big.
massively huge, especially when you're kind of in the same gig. And
Mhm.
all of a sudden, it's like, holy shit! You see how much it costs living in California. The weather's fine. I mean, I haven't experienced a summer yet. I'm sure it's going to be hot and sticky. I'll be fine. I don't care. I'll get over it.
Yeah, yeah.
Better than being
No, I don't think the Texas summers are too crazy. It's not as humid. I've been in there in the summer. I've also been to Florida in the summertime.
yes.
Uh, and I'm from Chicago, and Chicago is really, really muggy also in the summertime. Texas in the summertime is nice. I like Texas. I've been to Texas. I've a lot of friends in Texas actually now. A lot of my friends have moved to Texas. Some of my family moves to Texas. All right, now I need to get into the elephant of the room. All right, we haven't discussed this in person yet together, or we haven't talked about it at all. So, Gary,
Yeah.
I heard you started a coffee company.
Oh.
Yeah, you laugh.
All right. Well, it's a special blend. It's not a company, it's a special blend. All right. So
Go on. I'm
there's
listening.
already a coffee company called Geek Grind that
Okay.
that supported us over the years.
Mhm.
And as you may or may not know, I don't take sponsors. I don't do the sponsor thing.
'Kay.
I have been offered many, 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 many things, and maybe I'm crazy for turning them down, but
Mhm.
I've just got this weird independent, maybe still left over. Maybe it's dumb, maybe it's idealistic. It probably
Hey,
is.
I'm right there with you, man. I
Yeah.
don't have any sponsors either. Granted, I've only been on the scene for a little while, so, um, but, go on, please continue.
Oh, yeah. So that, but I was convinced by this one because they had been supporting us. They had been in our chat forever.
Okay.
And I didn't ask for money. They just sent me some coffee. I'm just like, okay. Then they made a special blend, a Nerdrotic, an all hail special blend, and I said sure. And then they made some cups. Then they're gonna make I can't call them the K cup, so I just call them as a joke the KKK cup. Uh,
Okay.
what? I just lean into it. Okay, they're calling me this shit all already.
Yeah.
Don't change Lord of the Rings, so like whatever. I don't care. Call me what you want. Um, and yeah, it's been great. And yeah, I've heard there's a little bit of a thing going on now. I think you can drink both. I think you can have some Crigler coffee and you could even mix them. You could do like a 50-50 and get really jacked up because my coffee's strong.
Is it?
It's
Y
fucking strong.
we're not alone, right?
Of course we're not
So,
alone.
I got a message randomly on Twitter. All right, hold on. I'm gonna pull it up because I wanna read it verbatim for us right now. From I bet you can almost guess who I'm gonna say it's from. You wanna take just one guess who this is from? Someone we know. Someone we're both cool with.
Oh,
You
it
could say
can't be
no.
the Friday Night Tights guys because I would know if they got coffee or not. So it's got to be
Good That's a
a
good
mutual.
assumption. It's
It's
a
a
good
good
assumption.
assumption.
Yeah.
Was it Jeremy?
Yes, it was.
Of course, Jeremy. Yeah, Jeremy's gonna
Jeremy
do anything I do.
Jeremy from the Quartering, by the way.
Okay.
Not Jeremy from the Quartering.
The other Jeremy.
Not
Jeremy.
Yeah.
Just kidding, Jeremy. You don't know what I'm talking about.
He sends me a message. I can't find it. It's in our DM somewhere.
Yep.
He goes, hey. And I'm like, is that it? And so I bought a coffee company. No hard feelings, but I must crush you now. It's like,
whatever.
Wow.
Whatever. Hey, that's great. Competition inspires a lot of things, innovation.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I think, but no, Crigler coffee, like everybody knows what a Crigler coffee is. Like this is
true.
Around, like it's your thing.
Well, you can't get fresher coffee than my coffee. Everyone's, even the Nerdrotic coffee, it looks awfully prepackaged, and I'm not trying to throw it onto the bus or anything.
I'm just gonna say that no, it's not prepackaged. They actually have their own farm in Colombia that they package their own stuff at and send it out.
Nice.
So that's the deal. But that's okay. I love I still drink like Pete's. I still drink stuff.
I guess Pete's isn't that bad.
My favorite coffee is the cup that is closest to me that's hot. That is I'll drink it all. I'm not I'm kind of a coffee slut.
All right. Yeah. Well, you know what? You know what I got to do, right?
Got my Daily Wire left at I'm totally just up in the Daily Wire right now.
I've got one of those, the leftist tiers. I have to send you some coffee. You know that, right?
And I'll send you some coffee.
There you go. Happen. We're all right, fine. That's actually a first where I'm actually sent coffee. But all right, we're gonna do that. We'll talk after the show and coordinate, and I'll get you some coffee. You can get me some coffee, and
we can coordinate.
And I'll try it.
Jeremy, I'll team up with you to crush Jeremy. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah, I like this. All right. Well, we should have not said this live to surprise him. Got him.
No, let's give him time to prepare, and then he'll have Lofty Pixels will come in and mess something up for him. So we can always count on that.
All right. No, I like this. Let's kick his ass.
Let's totally kick his ass. I'm down.
You know what we could do? We'll blend our coffee together and just drink it and be like, man, this is the best blend ever.
Yep.
Nothing can top this.
It's like the peanut butter cup of coffee, except it's like double caffeinated. Like you ever smoke crack? That's what drinking our coffee's like, except you won't lose your house or
I don't know. I'm not Hunter Biden.
or called a crackhead by Eric July. Well, you probably get called a crackhead by Eric July at some point in your life, but that's okay.
Yeah, gotta love Eric July. I have lots of super chats, and I saw a lot of cool questions coming in. There's a question that I ask. I love talking about the origin of things, ancient history. I have two questions for you. First one, this isn't a super chat. This is from me. Do you believe in the Big Bang Theory? Like that all of our universe was created in one moment. Boom. Big Bang Theory.
I don't know. I kind of think my belief is the universe has always been around. Like if the Big Bang is probably a resetting, recreation. I just don't think I don't think this thing ever started and had an ending. I think if something's forever, it's forever.
Well, they have proven that the stars are all expanding and moving away from each other. So there is a center point.
Probably coming from another universe. So, okay, black hole. If black holes exist, which we pretty much know.
Yeah,
right?
They exist.
I think those are the entrances. That's
what is that? What's that? What are you doing there? is that a black hole there or
fucking another universe? That's
is that what you
universe? That's what it is.
So what happens is a universe, all right? And it fucks another universe.
Female universe. And well, I'm not a biologist. And then they fuck and they have baby universes.
So what you're telling me is the Big Bang was exactly that, a big bang.
I think we're monkeys and we don't know what the fuck we're talking about, okay? We've proven there's an echo. Really? The monkey who can see a little dot through a fucking microscope and did some math that he made up has figured out that the universe was a fart. Okay, great. I don't know. I think it's a passable theory Do I believe it? No, because I think
Okay.
we're dumb. We're always changing the laws of physics. I think we don't account for spirituality. And I'm going to sound like Joe Rogan. I don't think we count for consciousness, which is a whole different thing. I'm a sober dude, but I think there is something to be said about some of the hallucinogenics that people can take. I can't. I can no
Yeah.
longer do that. But if you're not an addict, then you do that stuff. I tell you what, it opened up my mind when I did
Yeah.
it. It really, I didn't even understand what spirituality was till I dropped a lot of acid.
Yeah.
Whoa. So yeah, I think there's a lot we have to learn. I think it's a passable theory. But it's not something I believe.
Yeah, I would definitely do DMT with Joe Rogan if he asked me to do it. I'd find it really interesting that that drug is in all living things on this planet, and I would like to know why that is. It's in plants. It's
Mhm.
in
Yeah.
every single animal, and I'm just like, why is that? What is it about that why does it
And
exist?
it's
What
talked
is
about
the
too,
reason?
like it is in symbolism everywhere, even down
Right.
to the masonry. Randall Carlson talks about it. Like, I'm a big Randall Carlson guy.
I don't know Randall Carlson.
Oh, you got to listen to Randall Carlson. Sacred geometry, he talks
Sacred
about.
geometry. I know about
Cosmographia
that.
is his channel.
Okay.
He does these really freaking long-winded live streams about ancient civilizations and
I like this.
symbolism. Watches Joe Rogan. His Joe Rogan interviews are the
What
best.
what was his name again?
Randall Carlson. He's been on
Randall?
with Graham Hancock. Dude's awesome. Love the
Alright.
guy.
I'm gonna definitely get into that. That sounds
Yeah,
right
like
up my alley.
I'm like an agnostic, so I think there's a plan. There's definitely a plan. I don't know what it is, but I don't think this was just all one big accident.
So wait, now I gotta ask, do you so you think there's a plan, so do you think there's free will then? Because I feel like the if free will exists, there can't be a plan because
Not
if I
necessarily. I think there could be a plan. It's not a program. It's a different.
okay, I could see okay, I see what you're saying. So there's a plan, not all plans go according to the
Mhm.
plan, right? Okay.
But do I?
Interesting.
That's a good question. I feel like I have free will, but that could, you know,
Yeah, I mean, if everyone
that
suddenly
could be
became
part of my
black-pilled
programming.
and
Yeah.
gave up on life and then humanity perished, if that wasn't part of the plan, that would kinda end the plan, wouldn't it? I
Yep.
mean, unless that was the plan,
It's
but then
pretty
there's no free will then.
it's pretty extraordinary that we're here. Like,
I agree with that.
it takes the tilt of the earth. It takes the moon being just the right size, which just so happens to be the same exact size to completely cover the sun, which is what a
Yeah.
coincidence that is.
Yeah,
Then if you get into
exactly.
the numbers that are coincidental, it gets nuts. It gets absolutely nuts. Like,
I talked about the moon yesterday on my show, and I actually checked it out, and they're claiming that if the moon fell away, nothing would change on Earth. Just the tides wouldn't be a thing. Now, I think that's absolutely ridiculous. I don't believe that. Would do you believe that? See, you don't believe it. I can see that
I
on the
don't
look on
believe
your
that. I
face.
think we need the moon's gravity. It's balanced. Yeah, that would be kind of. It is drifting away very slowly.
Yeah, like 1 inch a year, I think is
Yeah.
the rate.
I mean, like, what's the standing theory that a Mars-sized planet hit this planet and the ejecta became the moon?
Right. That's
And
I
that
believe that.
might be what tilted the Earth on its axis, or it could be later impacts. We don't know.
And slowed
A
us down because we were spinning a lot faster,
lot
and
faster.
and that's why we have the 24-hour,
And we got
day.
like wobbles and wobbles within wobbles, wobbles that happen every 26,000 years, every 15,000 years, every 5,000 years. It's pretty trippy,
I
really.
don't even know about the wobbles. I kinda wanna look
Oh
into
yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, there's the theory on why the Sahara is dry, but then
Mhm.
it'll be filled with water every 5 or 6,000 years. Like 5 or 6,000 years ago, the Sahara was lush.
Well, I heard that it was because that's where they started farming first and didn't realize that you can't just farm the same spot over and over before the ground gets like all the nutrients get used up.
A lot of that sand is ocean sand. How did that get there?
Well, my buddy Andreas would say that's where Tartarus was, and the Atlantis was. I mean, the
Atlantis was the Azores. The Azores.
Where's the Azores? What's that?
Right outside the Pillars of Hercules.
Where's that located? That
it's right where Plato said they would be. It's like right outside. So it's the Mediterranean Sea. Then you go through that little one like that, and then and there's
you really like doing that, don't you?
Yeah, I do. But it's like a little opening like this big, right? And then like you sail through, and then there's like a bunch of islands, and then
the Gibraltar.
The rocks, the Rock of Gibraltar. It's the pillar.
That's that point
of Hercules, the Pillars of Hercules, or Heracles back in the day. Sorry, I was just listening to Randall Carlson, so I'm doing it in that. He does a 10-hour thing on like that's where Atlantis is, and he makes a decent argument. Like I'll say I'm not going to say it's like that's it, but it's a decent argument, one I never thought of before.
Yeah, I love this. I love
Ice Age. See, like we could get into like the most. I think that like one of the things we need to spread the word on is what he's talking about. Whether you believe in Atlantis or whatever, 12,000 years ago we had an ice age, a pretty serious ice age, and it ended kind of overnight, and we don't know how. So they're telling us like their climate change is coming, and I don't want to get you in too much trouble, but climate change is definitely, it always changes. So yes, climate change. Yes, it's happening.
Always changing.
Happening. Always changes drastically. If you go 10,000 years ago and look at the ice core samples, you will see fluctuations in temperature of 10 degrees between, 20, 30, 100 years, 200 years.
That's a lot.
It's a lot, and it's for a long time, and it's only been mellow since the end of the ice age. Well, what started the ice age? What ended the ice age? The scientists say it's a wobble. I find that hard to believe because there's a record of giant quantities of water entering our ocean at not just over a short period of time or a long period of time, but over a very short period of time. Randall Carlson gets all in. He does it better than I do. It's on Joe Rogan. I'm sure, like, dude, the podcast has like 11 million views. Most people have seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, and I need to see it. It's
fucking awesome. Cool. It blows your mind, and then you hear people talking about like climate change, and you're like, dude, like a relatively geological second ago, there was like 4 species of elephant in America,
right?
And they're all gone now. And they tell you that man came through an ice corridor and with little sticks hunted them all down and killed them all, even though they were outnumbered 11-1.
Wow.
I mean, 11.
Hey, man, the greed of man knows no bounds. All right.
That's true.
All right.
Some amazing spears.
So that was my first question. Okay. My second question, I love asking people this. What were the pyramids, the Great Pyramids of Egypt? What are they?
A TARDIS. No. What are they? That is a good question.
What do you believe they are?
He's a power plant theory, which is a pretty decent theory.
Happens to be mine.
I think that would be the one I would lean towards.
Okay.
I believe they are much older than they say they are.
Agreed.
Yep. I'm thinking at least, and I mean at least 24,000 years old.
Wow. All the way back.
All the way back.
Pre-Ice Age, basically.
Pre-Ice Age. There's some pretty compelling evidence that the Sphinx is that old.
Yep.
Or
before the pyramids.
Minimum 12,000 years old. Yeah, they say the pyramids are only like 4,000 years old. I don't think there's no hieroglyphics inside. Plus, there is other parts of Egypt that are megalithic, like pre-Old Kingdom.
Yeah, they don't talk about that much.
Well, they don't talk about that. The older megalithic stone structure is better cut. It's better made than the newer stuff. The older stuff is better than the newer stuff. And the same goes for Göbekli Tepe, which we know at minimum is 12,000 years old. And the older stuff was better than the newer stuff. And that's Minimum. We don't know actually how old it is.
Right.
We just know when it was buried.
Exactly.
But so yeah, I totally know. A civilization is very, very old, and there's a lot we don't, and we could, and a lot of things could be absolutely erased that we'd never know.
That's true. And now my final question. This is something I saw floating around. Actually, Neo Unrealist on Twitter, someone had asked it, and he commented, and so that's I saw it on my stream or on my my scroll, and I love this, and I can't stop thinking about it. If you had a choice, okay, to wake up tomorrow, either 500 years in the past or 500 years in the future, which would you choose?
Oh, future.
Would you?
Yeah. If I go
'Cause
500 years in the past, I'm gonna get killed by somebody from
True.
some itch.
I
And
mean, everyone could be dead in 500 years.
yeah, maybe then I'll be alone and I'll have a lot of cool stuff. But I mean, that would suck.
If there's stuff around still.
If there's stuff around, but better to be alone and in the future than in the past. It depends on where I get dropped, but it'd be pretty bad.
You choose.
It'd be pretty bad.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Somewhere on Earth, though. It would be
Future.
on Earth.
It'd have to be
Future.
Absolutely.
I mean, you didn't hesitate at all. So it's obviously the future for you. I see a lot of people say in the past. I don't know what I would choose. I haven't stopped thinking about it.
Visit ancient Egypt and get the answer to those damn pyramids. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
But
500 years isn't enough, right? I think I'm leaning towards the future, though. Also,
yeah,
I think
like
500 years of technology. That's a lot.
you go in the past and you're gonna adapt to the
You stub your toe and you're gonna die.
You're gonna die. Yeah, you get a bad tooth, you're gonna die.
Yeah,
you gotta hunt your food. Your
Yep.
water's gonna suck. The food's gonna suck. Everything's gonna suck. Everybody's dirty. No way.
Yeah, true. All right, we got a bunch of super chats. Thank you all for hanging out. And Nerdrotic, thank you for coming on. Or Gary, I appreciate you stopping over to my show and telling us your story. It's cool. It's nice. I like hearing about people's lives. Hearing how they became the people that they are now. Fingerbang the Unsatisfier for 10 says, "This is like peanut butter and chocolate. Sorry for the name, Adam. It's my thing. Gary knows who I really am."
Yes.
LOL. Hey, man. I mean, he's actually physically showed you the representation. You're basically the Big Bang Theory, the show, because it was unsatisfying and I don't know. I tried to make a joke about it.
The show was unsatisfying.
Mark
Will Wheaton.
Robert Shaw says, "One rich man slaps the plastic face of another rich man, and the world should care about it. I really couldn't care less. I don't give a flying 4 asterisks." Well, good to see you, Robert Shaw. Robert Wiles is back. Hello, Robert. He says, "I'm sorry I missed so many streams, Adam. Still waiting on my results from my x-rays. My pain is bad and it's storming tonight be back as soon as I can. Be blessed." Robert, take your time, man. Hope you're feeling better. It's great to see you. Thanks for stopping through. Scrody Johnson says, "Howdy, Adam. This dude has one killer beard." Have you always had a beard? Have you always rocked the beard?
I've had a beard on and off since 2010, but like rocking it this long has been since, I guess, 2016, maybe. I shaved it once in between then to get a job at Tesla, which I didn't need to do, and we'll never do that again.
Did you actually work at Tesla?
I did.
How long
that
did
was
you work
my last job for my before I worked there for about a year and a half.
What'd you do for Tesla?
I helped them develop a parts department, which they didn't listen. But the Tesla was initially real quick was set up as a tech company. What they wanted to be a tech company that made cars. Then they realized, that's not going to work. We need to be a car company that makes cars. So we need to bring in some auto part or auto people in. So they found me on LinkedIn, offered me like the world. I said, sure. But then this YouTube thing happened. And I was pretty unhappy anyway. I just don't work in the corporate structure. Not Elon's fault.
Yeah.
Elon was fine. I had no problem with Elon. It was just the corporate people under him that I was like not a big fan of. Plus, my boss had a ponytail. Respect that.
And that was the line I just don't cross, man. People with ponytails work for me.
They work for me. No, they don't have man buns. That's for you. Hear that, Cord Black Garrett?
That's right. I'm talking about you, Garrett.
Yep, that's right. I'll be fine with a ponytail, but no freaking man bun.
Robert Shaw again says Allison falls asleep to the Metallica song "That Thing Should Not Be" or Orion. She loves music and dances like a wasted old man at the pub. Allison is his 1.5-year-old. I think she's
that's adorable.
about a 1.5. That's
Orion.
good. You're introducing her to good music at a young age.
Orion.
Edith for $10 says, first off, love you both. Watch Friday Night Tights religiously. I'm glad Adam is doing this. DD. What is DD? What am I doing here?
Deep dive.
Oh, deep dive. Oh, sure. I guess it is a deep dive into Nerdrotics. Hope everyone is well. Well, thank you, Edith. I appreciate that. Yeah, as I said, it's I love hearing people's lives. Nina Infinity was on the show the other day. What a interesting life she's had so far.
Yeah.
What a character. Robert Shaw says, what's the worst comic you have ever read? That's definitely for you. Worst comic ever.
Oh, it's either that America Chavez #1 or Gotham High or I Am Not Starfire. It's one of those. I would say the single worst is America Chavez #1. It's pretty bad.
I mean, I couldn't help but I have to ask, what is the best comic? Your top of the list favorite comic of all time?
I have to pick one.
You have to pick one.
Blew my mind. It would have to be Daredevil 181.
Daredevil. All right,
Death
181.
Of Elektra.
Death of Elektra. Cool.
Yep. And
I like Daredevil a lot.
Yeah.
I always liked Daredevil.
I
liked Wolverine a lot.
Bullseye. Oh, Wolverine's good too. There's a Wolverine limited series by Frank Miller that's freaking great.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, I had a bunch of Wolverine comics as a kid, and it was so vicious. It was not the Wolverine that I see now. Like the comics that I had, like they was so gory and bloody. The dude just killed everybody. It was awesome.
He's got a Conan body count for sure.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic Mr. Knox says, this interview with Gary has been enlightening. Thank you for sharing, man. I wouldn't have figured your life was a hard one, but you're doing well now. You know, we are happy to see that you seem to have a great hold of things. I'm grateful for it.
Me too. Thank you. I've got a great family. So,
you know, and I think that's what those guys that gave you risked to give you a leg up when you were younger. That's what they saw. Like when you were working that delivery job and the people around you hated their job and you're like, this job's great, and I'm working hard because I know that there's worse out there. That's very visible in an employer, seeing an employee that is grateful and will do the work. That's very visible. It's obvious when someone appreciates just doing the work. But yeah, I'm glad you landed on the right side of the coin. It's good.
Thanks. Yeah. It was you come from nothing and all of a sudden you're like, I've got money and I get to drive. It's just it's just a change of mindset. That's all
True.
it is. It's experiencing the worst side, which I hope you don't have to learn that way.
Yeah.
Really a mindset thing. It's they say it sounds cheesy as hell, but they say it in recovery all the time. Stop saying I have to do stuff. Say I get to do stuff.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
I ask myself a lot and I talk about this a lot. And what you just said right there made me think of this question. You said it's a mind state, right? It's just changing your outlook essentially. How the hell do we help people see that? How do we get to those people that are so entitled and so you know who I'm talking about, the people
Yeah.
that the SJWs, the all these people that just won't change their mind, won't open their eyes. Like, how do we get to these people?
I don't think we can. I mean, some sure we're gonna get to. Carrie Smith really put it best, like woke me up to like how differently we need to approach this because
Mhm.
we have been trying it with facts and logic forever. That's a very
True.
dude thing to do. It's a very dude thing, like, hey, I've got some facts and logic for you, and that doesn't get through to even dudes. And
True.
she said, no, 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 we got to get through to them on on an emotional level. Well, for one, I've got to like get my head around that. But she's right.
Yeah.
She's absolutely right. We're approaching it all wrong. I think they need to experience humility and failure like some of us have. And I don't think they really have. They also need, I think, on the compassionate side, I think some people need to be shown hope. Like that, like you're not stuck. And again, I see tons of people. I see people our age. I see them like really overshare on Twitter, but like, I'm never going to own a house. Well, now you're not.
Yeah.
Now
No,
you're not.
that attitude. Right.
With that attitude, you're not. You're not. But you know what? Just don't say stuff like that. Maybe you're not, but you don't know. You
Mhm.
don't know. I would live under a fucking bush in front of a Long John Silver's in Encinitas. I didn't think I was going to live past the age of fucking 30. Okay. So like we don't know the future. And don't count yourself out. Don't sell yourself short, and don't be self-defeatist. It's cowardly. It's cowardly, and it's also it's a way to avoid responsibility. It's going to take work, and some people are going to do better than others, and life is unfair. That's just a fact.
Yep.
There's no there's everybody's got an unconscious bias towards individuals. We're human.
It's true. I
It's not
agree with
like a mass
exactly.
race thing. It's an individual thing. Sure.
Everybody has the bias. Everybody. And bias on all things. Yeah, those are good. That's a good answer to that. And shout out to Carrie Smith. That girl is awesome.
She is
Uh,
brilliant.
I've had great conversations with Carrie.
Good. And
Yeah. Vicidius for 10 says, you've mentioned the upper levels of Folsom were into some shady business, but how dirty on average would you say the guards?
I mean, what I experienced,
Mm-hmm.
one in a dozen, maybe. I
Okay.
mean, if I had to quantify it, I
Yeah.
saw some bad stuff. I mean, like
Yeah.
a lot of people felt very free in front of us because we were dehumanized. So we were just numbers. We couldn't say anything. Nobody was going to be talking to us. We weren't allowed to talk to the media. So people felt very comfortable, relaxed, and free around us. And they did some nasty shit. But I mean, for the most part, I'm going to say most guards were just doing their job. All right. We're
Okay.
just doing their job. But once in a while, drugs don't just walk into prisons by themselves, and they don't always, you can't get in there with a visitor, especially when the visitor is behind a wall. So there were tons and tons of drugs in prison
Wow.
behind the wall. So that means guards were bringing them in, staff was bringing them in.
Yeah.
So they're definitely crooked. And I saw them hiding stuff that from the media. I witnessed that. There was embezzling going on, and they hid that. That's
Wow.
what really woke me up to corruption.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Robert Shaw says, I hope Chris doesn't make a joke about Baldwin. Oh, yeah, I've heard that. Thanks, Robert Shaw. Fantastic, Mr. Knox. Thanks for that super chat. It says retracted, so thank you. He says again, there's Mark Robershaw. Hope all is well. Yes, Robershaw, I hope you're doing well over there in Aussie land. I don't know how crazy Australia is still, but, we've all heard the rumors over the past however long.
Sitting up a little bit. So
Is it? Oh, that's
yeah,
good. That's good. I'm glad for all the
some
citizens that have no control. Although we need to take back control, everywhere, not just America. Vicidius for 20 says, wait a second, you said you got paid $1 a day for fighting fires back then, and Kamala was getting roasted for the same thing when she was running for president. So they never increased it while clamoring for $15 an hour? Very California. I guess, yeah.
yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Even innocent men that were proven innocent
Yeah.
were kept being paid $1 a day because it was cheap labor.
It was
Dude.
cheap labor, and it's fucking intense. And people are happy to do it because it gets them out of the camp or whatever, right? And you get like a proper meal. You get like at the end of each fire, you get a steak, you get a steak soda, you get like that's
okay.
Worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, yeah. A steak in prison, like all right.
Oh, dude, they would even like sneak us cigarettes too. So that was always like while we're fighting the fire, we all got fucking cigarettes hanging out of our mouth.
All right. Yeah,
that's dangerous. It was like super, like I was young and very, very dumb, just at my invulnerable phase and not even realizing like how dangerous it was.
But you were out there fighting fires though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow. Right on. Right on.
19-year-old.
Robert Shaw says it's starting to get cold here, but all is good, right? Because it's opposite on that side of the world.
Oh, that's right.
Forgot about that. Haha, it's almost warm here, sucker. Fantastic Mr. Knox says, question for Gary. If he's still on, of course he is here. I never got your opinion on the Batman book, The War of Jokes and Riddles. Thank you. I don't know that one.
The War of Jokes and Riddles.
Oh, he's got to look it up. All right.
I'm a Marvel guy, so I got to see if it's like he said books.
Yeah, the Batman book, War of Jokes and Riddles.
Oh, Tom King. Did not read it. I hate Tom King.
That says all you need to hear, I guess.
Yep.
All right. Robert Shaw says, in Australia, this year has been an excellent lesson is what happens when you build whole towns in flood zones. It's been raining for a few months now. Oh, well, I just hope that you're not in a flood town because that would suck. Robert Shaw says, Gary created the woke movement to get famous. Did he now?
That's it. That was all a conspiracy.
And that's all it is. It's a conspiracy. All right.
Conspiracy.
Robert Shaw again says, if you fence sit for too long, you go bald. All right. No comment. Fantastic Mr. Knox says, Robert Shaw.
It's Robert Shaw. It's not baldness.
Smack. Fantastic Mr. Knox says, Robert Shaw, I'm bald. Oh, man. Oh, this is my mother, actually. My mom just super chatted for 10. Thanks, Mom. My actual mother, by the way. I'm not joking around. It says, man, I love your story. Your honesty is so refreshing. Thank you for it. I love the Friday Night Tights crew. That laughter is needed on Fridays. Keep up the awesome work. Well, thank you, Mom.
Do I have to go? Thank you, Mrs. Crigler. Is that the right last name? I just felt like saying that.
Yeah, no, you're right to ask because no, they split up when I was younger, but her last name is Skoglund, which is my grandfather's name. Swedish. It's a Swedish last name.
Skoglund.
But her name's Robin. You can just call her Robin.
Thanks, Robin.
Yeah. Thanks, Mom. Love you too. Robert Shaw says, no, Knox, avoid the beanie. Knox, don't do it. No. I read it verbatim. I'm not. That's. Oh my! You guys are having a conversation here in my super chats. This is fine. Fantastic Mr. Knox responds and says, I don't wear beanies. Heads get itchy. That makes sense, especially if you have no barrier between the scalp and the beanie. I can assume it gets really itchy under there. Smelly too, maybe. Recif. I don't know how to say your name, but Gary, tell the story of the beach after you got out. It really resonated with me about true meaning of liberty. Tell us.
Oh, the day I got out, I always talk about, like, I wish I could bottle it up and just give it to people. So the day I got out, I briefly talked about it. Like, I did not need any money. I didn't need anything. I didn't need a girlfriend. I didn't need anything other than what I had right there at that moment. So it was like the first time and only time in my life I truly was just in the moment, wasn't worried about the past, future, anything else. I'm just taking in everything around me right then and there. And like, it was a spiritual moment. And I was able to just go to the beach and take a walk. And that's what I did. That's all I did. Was first day there, I walked miles from my house, like fucking miles, and then I walked miles on the beach because I could.
Yeah,
loved it. It was the best fucking day of my life.
That is a skill. The ability to stay in the now, to release the worries from both the future and the past, and truly be where you are, and observant, and just live in that moment is very difficult for
Really
people to do.
difficult.
It's not an easy thing. Um, I mean, yeah, I've been told I'm really good at it, living in the now. And now that I've become more questioning about everything, right? It just kind of comes with the territory of researching, and just, I don't know, doing what I do, talking about things. And um, I found out that I've always been pretty close to it because I never really worried about the future, and I had a pretty good life, so I didn't have to worry about it. And I've realized that it's actually to my detriment because I never really, not that I didn't plan for the future, but I didn't care. It didn't affect me, that I didn't worry about things. And I've learned that I actually need to not do that because I can zone out, and just kind of be in video games. Help people do it a lot, binging shows. But that's not exactly what I was doing. But what you said, you wish you could bottle it. It's your wish is to, you wish people could experience that
Mhm.
feeling, because I think that would help a lot of people live better lives if they were able to do that, if they were able to realize. Because, well, you said it earlier. I don't remember exactly the quote. You said something about you needed. It was you know, s- what they say in recovery. You have to learn how to say, instead of "I need this."
Or I
Uh,
have to do it. You get to do this.
right. Yeah. 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 And
It's
and
kinda
that's part of
have
it.
yeah, it's like living life with gratitude. Like, I am
Yeah.
thankful for what I have. I'm not worried about what other people have, what I don't have.
Yeah.
None of that shit bother me. Like, it's not always gonna be there. We're all human, but, yeah, I don't waste my time worrying about what another man or woman has in their life, or if I see something like, I get inspired. That's another thing I've learned, in that they ingrain that in you in recovery. Like, so on the first thing they ingrain, you look for find somebody that has something you don't want and copy everything they fucking do. Ask them lots of questions. The people, and not things. It's
Yeah.
that guy's got 10 years in recovery. I'm gonna fucking find out how,
Yeah.
like,
How did
because
how did you do it? Yeah.
yeah, because that seems inconceivable when you're there for 2 days. When you're sober for 2 days and you're still feeling sick, you're like, how in the fuck did somebody walk away from this? And then how is their life better? Like, how? And you
Yeah.
just ask, and they'll go, well, I read this book, I did these steps, I did these things, and now you're going to do them too, and I'll do them with you. And that's how it gets paid forward.
I like it. I like it. Let's see here. Captain Ridiculous Awesome Sauce for 10 says, one, Adam, get MAGA Hulk on. Well, I don't have my, I can't find my MAGA beanie. I found it, and then I put it somewhere. I'm like, I'm gonna put this here so I don't lose it. And then I lost where
Lost.
that was. So I gotta find that. So once I find the MAGA beanie, I'll rock it, actually. Although I feel like, yeah, I've never agreed with the phrase "Make America Great Again" more than I do now. So,
Right?
I feel like it really can be driven home now. Number 2, Nerdrotic, gotta hook up with the Daily Wire. Well, why? He's doing his own thing. I like the Daily Wire, though. I think they're doing good stuff. I'm glad that they're working with Gina Carano. I can't wait to see that new movie that's coming out soon.
Yeah, the movie looks actually really good.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
I like
yeah,
westerns a
I do
lot.
too.
So, it should be good. 3, you guys kick ass. Thank you. And 4, keep inspiring us all because you all rock. Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you. Mr. Wolfgram for 5 says, how will all these woke policies affect people of mixed race background? I am only half privileged because I am half white. No, according to leftist ideology, you are 100% white. So deal with it.
Yep.
You have white privilege. So sorry, sucks for you. Uh,
I I I
Wash
do
your feet.
legitimately worry about backlash and stuff, because I think we should all be treated as individuals. Like,
Agreed.
if somebody's gay, that's just like one part of you, and it's the part like I never need to know about, like, ever.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
like across your partner or something like that. We meet someday, but like in normal day-to-day, like meeting, your average stranger, I don't ever need to know about it. It's not anything that matters to me at all.
Yep.
And guess what? My personal life doesn't matter to you at all. And that's fine. That's fine. I'm tired of them dividing us, and I'm worried about well, I'm already seeing it. Like we're seeing the villainization of another race. Like I don't want any race discriminate. I'm like you guys. I'm going to speak some just like really basic bitch common sense, but we have to now because things are insane. I don't want any race discriminated against. I want everyone to succeed. I want them to have families and have little babies, and their little babies have more babies, and they all like get along with each other and they're successful. That's what I want. And you know what? If that's a gay couple, that's great. If there's a trans person out there that's living their best life, that's fucking great. That's awesome. No problem whatsoever. Stop fucking vilifying people. And especially for, speaking out against stuff. And by the way, nobody's above criticism.
And also stop indoctrinating children as well.
Stop indoctrinating children and stop acting like that's something that it isn't.
Right. Exactly. Stop bullshitting us. All right. We know what it is. It's ridiculous. Fastidious for 10 says Walt Disney testified and named communists when he was before the House of Un-American Activities Committee. He even banned alcohol in the parks. If he could see what his company was up to now, shaking my head. Oh, man. We could probably power generators if they just connect it to the spinning that's going on inside of his grave from him rolling over. Man, it is ridiculous. Lady Freddy says, oh my god, I love these stories. Triumph. Yes, gotta love a good Triumph story, right? Gerald Armstrong says, Gary, you should get Larry Lawton on FNT. He's a great guy. Larry Lawton.
Okay.
Martin says, Doctor Who or Doctor Strange, who would win?
Say that again.
Doctor Who versus Doctor Strange, who would win?
Oh, that's such a good question. And it's tough.
Is it?
Yeah. Well,
I don't really know Doctor Who.
Will automatically think it's Doctor Strange because of his power, which, I mean, you would lean that way. But you see, the thing is, Doctor Who's about the mystery. Doctor Who's a freaking god, basically.
Okay.
He's a god.
Is he?
So I'm going to say the Doctor would beat Doctor Strange because Doctor Strange could time travel through a spell, but like the Doctor's mind works on a quantum level, kind of like Reed Richards, and I think that would give him an advantage. But that would be a fun little battle if it wasn't filled with woke bullshit like it would be today. Cool.
Yeah, Doctor Who summons the Doctor summons the first Doctor to come in and save the day, and of course it's the little black girl that comes in and changes the battle. Although now, in more seriousness though, couldn't Doctor Strange just put them into the, I don't remember what it's called, like the safe zone, but they always go into that safe spot where he controls everything?
We're talking max power Doctor Strange with the Agamotto and everything. Yeah, I mean, pretty freaking powerful, but you can still same with the Doctor. You can shoot them, right? Superman's bulletproof. Right. But if you sneak up on Doctor Strange or the Doctor, you can shoot them and they'll get shot. And they'll
they'll die. Yeah.
No, okay. That's but the Doctor will regenerate. Stephen Strange will die. So I think the immortality factor, and then they can both call on but they can both make copies of themselves. Essentially, Doctor Strange can make a copy of himself, and Doctor summon himself from another timeline if he needs to. And he's got the TARDIS, which is like this. The cool thing about Doctor Who is it's just giant. It's a giant mystery. We don't know what the hell the guy can do, but he's defeated devils and gods. So is Doctor Strange. I think it'd be a good battle. I'd love to see it someday.
We need Celebrity Deathmatch to come back. Okay, we got a super chat jump. Let me find out where we were. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. David Quesadilla says, this dude's awesome sauce. Did he work in the Navy or on an aircraft carrier? I don't know why. I feel like we would have heard that. in his history.
Who's that?
This is David Quesada. I call him Quesadilla because
Quesadilla.
I called him Quesadilla once on accident, and it stuck. Now he's just Quesadilla. Great guy. I hope he's out of the hospital. I don't. If you're still in the hospital and you're watching my show, I love the amount of support that you throw my way. Did he work in the Navy? You didn't, right? You never were in the Navy, right?
No. Ryan Kinnell did.
Ryan was in the Navy, yeah, for a long time.
Dad was in the Navy. That's why I grew up in San Diego.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Thurston Howell III. What a good name. What is that from? Is that from something?
Gilligan's Island.
Oh, okay. I don't know that.
There you go.
You know, it's funny. I can see the profile picture, and it looks like an image of a guy from Gilligan's Island. So I'm assuming that's who that is. Says, you guys are awesome. Gary, are you ever going to take Alex Jones up on his offer to be on his show?
Did he offer for me to be on the show? This is the first
I guess so.
This is the first time I'm hearing about it, Thurston.
Thurston Howell III. If this did actually, in fact, happen, please get us this info because I'm sure he would love to go on Alex's show.
Yeah, it's the first time hearing about it. I would go on Alex's show in a heartbeat.
All you got to do is just hit Alex up and be like, listen, Thurston Howell III.
Yeah,
mentioned the Thurston Howell III mentioned to me that you wanted me on your show. So
somehow transcended from the great beyond.
Well, you're in Texas. Just go show up.
I could just drive up. Well, I don't know where the compound is. It's I can't believe he's in Austin, dude. It's like maybe it was weird. Cool like when he started there, but like everybody's like, "Are you going to move to Austin?" I'm like, "That would be the last place in Texas I'm moving." No offense,
basically moving to California.
I moved to San Francisco, stay in San. Yeah, back to San Francisco. Fuck that. No. I'm in a boring, fucking suburban neighborhood with fiber internet. That's all I wanted to be. I can walk.
Gotta love that fiber internet. I got fiber internet here. I'm pretty. I love it. Dude, love my fiber.
It's like. Internet sex. That's what
it's amazing. I would upload my videos to a Dropbox so that because my wife will download it and create the podcast because I upload the show to the different podcast stuff, and it used to take 30 minutes. It takes 3 seconds now.
Yep, it's insane.
Amazing.
Yeah. I'm not used to it. It used to take 30 minutes sometimes just on my regular in San Diego. Yeah. Depending on what YouTube was feeling that day, because YouTube can still be slow, even with fiber. But and then it's like another 30 minutes for them to monetize the video. Remember when that started for a while that they it happens every so often. It takes forever to monetize.
I don't remember those days. I'm still a newbie. I feel
monetized. Yeah. I get monetized. I rarely get hit.
Oh man, they love hitting me. I feel like Chris Rock on YouTube.
You feel like Chris Rock and YouTube slapping you, Mama Susan slapping you?
Yeah, Susan Smith, I call her. Because she just loves smacking me. Robert Shaw, it was a good question. Star Wars universe versus Star Trek universe. Go. I know that's tough. Pre-Disney, pre-Discovery.
Oh, I used to get.
I gotta establish that
about this. Pre-Disney,
yeah.
Pre-Disney and pre-Kurtzman.
Right.
Oh, this is hard.
I know they're both so good.
God,
I don't know if I could pick. I'm gonna pick Star Trek.
I'm gonna pick Star Trek.
I got to go with Star Trek for this one.
Star Trek too. Like the Star Wars has a bigger impact. It's the Beatles.
Yeah.
But like Star Trek is like the Who.
Okay. I could see that. I love Star Wars. I love like the magic in Star Wars, but there's something about Star Trek that
Star Trek's like Pink Floyd. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah,
Pink Floyd has a lot of amazing stuff that people I feel don't know about. Like they only know like their main stuff, But man, do they have a catalog,
dude? Yes, they do.
Wow,
yes, they do. You got the deep cuts, and Pink Floyd are wonderful.
Bobby Lane says, so awesome seeing Nerdrotic on today. Hail, Gary, and hail, Adam. Keep up the great conversations.
To answer that, sorry. Because
please.
There's more of Star Trek. That's the only reason. That's
really the edge topper there.
That's the edge. And who, I don't know, man. Captain Kirk and Han Solo are like equally cool to me. Like They are fucking cool.
Yeah.
Both had shitty deaths. Both had really shitty deaths. But I mean,
how did Kirk die?
You don't even want to know. In Generations, he is fighting off Malcolm McDowell. I'm forgetting his name now.
Wait, the movie Generations.
It's in the movie Generation. So it's the first Generation movie, and it fucking sucks. If I had a YouTube channel, my entire channel would have been dedicated for 5 years on how much I fucking hated that fucking death.
Wow.
And I refuse. As a matter of fact, William Shatner wrote a fucking book series called The Return, and that is canon in my head that the Borg came and revived him and stuff. So
cool. Wait, he revived his own character?
Yes, he did.
I love that.
Fucking William Shatner is a god amongst men.
Dude, he's amazing. I love that
guy. God amongst men. Look, he's like 10 years older than Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
And fucking he drinks more than Patrick Stewart. He parties more than Patrick Stewart, but he gets laid. That's the difference. That man has sex in his 90s. That's why he's still young.
And he crushes people on Twitter.
Crushes it. I think absolutely. And
it's amazing to see.
I got to I was in the cattle line to get a picture with him. I paid an exorbitant amount for it. And then I paid even more to have my wife take a picture with him on the bridge because it's been a dream of hers.
Oh, cool.
And dude is sharp as a tack. Sharp as a tack. We're in this cattle line and he's just zinging all fucking day, meeting people, one-liners, giving people shit. Just love him. Love him to death.
That's awesome. I would love to meet him one day. That's great. Rob Shaw says, Coffee Wars, here we go. Now it was over before it began.
It was.
Yeah. Fantastic Mr. Knox says, first we had the battle over tea. Now we got the battle over coffee.
Yep.
Love it, fellas. It's 1776, bitches.
It is.
We need some more of that energy around anyway. So good.
Staining wooden teeth with coffee in my musket, getting weevils out of my bread.
Deus Zod, thank you for that cool looking super sticker. RG Merkel for 5 says Missouri and Crigler coffee beat out Texas in coffee and gun rights. Okay. All right. Yep. Crigler coffee's gonna win every time. It's my show. This is how it goes. North Viking says you two should do a weekly science-y show. I would love to have Gary back anytime. I know. I don't know if you guys know. Every time I go on YouTube, this guy's on a show. You're on the Real BBC. You were just over on Critical Drinkers earlier today. You got Friday Night Tights. You do your own show, your own segments outside of Friday Night Tights. Do you go outside of this office of yours ever?
Not really, no. The answer is no. I went to the grocery store 2 days ago.
Oh, good.
It was nice. Yeah, went to a Texas grocery store. It's really weird.
Is it? What? Yeah, what's the main thing that's different?
It's called a H&B or something like everything. Like it's like an event, right? You go to the grocery store and it's also got a T-Mobile. You can get tile. You can get insurance. You can get tickets. There's trivia. There was a trivia contest in there. The fucking thing is giant. It's absolutely. And I'm from SoCal, so we don't have small grocery stores there.
Yeah,
it's like it's like a garden center. It was fucking huge.
So H-E-B is
cool. It's called H&B or whatever the fuck it's called. B&H or what the fuck. I don't know.
No, chat's saying H-E-B. So Heb.
H-E-B, is that it? Yeah, that's it.
H-E-B. Hey man, you got to learn the lingo if you're going to be a Texan. All right.
Oh shit! Things are different here. They plan their roads a little differently. They drive a lot differently.
Faster, right?
No, they're slow. Slow as
hell. Are they?
Yeah, they're really slow.
Wasn't expecting slow.
I'm SoCal. We drive 20 miles above the speed limit on pretty much average. So
okay. Good to know. Good to know.
I'm acclimating, so I'm slowing my driving down. That's all I did. I was like, I'm not going to be the obnoxious Californian. This is how they drive, then this is how I drive. See,
you're gonna wait. You gotta wait until you get the Texas license plate.
Californians, follow my example. This is how you assimilate into somebody else's culture. You don't come here and bring your shit over to somebody else's fucking yard. Okay. You come here, you see how the natives do, then when in Rome, and you do as they do. Comply to being a Texan. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be because Californians did it wrong. See, they just fucking did it wrong. There's a couple things that I miss, some Mexican food, but like it's fine because I like freedom.
Well, there's a large Mexican presence in Texas, isn't there?
There is, and there's like I like Tex-Mex. Tex-Mex is really good. It's just San Diego Mexican food. It's different good. That's all.
Yeah, that's true. It's right there. Yeah.
No, and the barbecue here is fucking dope. And the steak.
Well, you got that.
Oh God, it was so good. I went to this Texas steakhouse. Holy shit. I can't wait to go back.
Nice.
It's so good.
Food is awesome.
Yes.
Marcus Clement for €10. Oh, I very rarely see the euro sign. Thanks for joining, Marcus. Says, I really thought Geek Grind was a joint project with Adam. Shows how much I know. I'm sure you will figure something out. Yeah. No. That we have no correlation, all right, at all. I want to make that very distinctly clear. My coffee is roasted after you order it. That's a huge difference between my coffee and pretty much every coffee out there. But I am looking forward to trying Geek Grind. I will try it. Matthew Hammond says, what about the polls swapping? Yeah, that's a whole interesting.
That's happened. We know it's happened.
We know it's happened. That's true.
My coffee will. It's like
go on.
It's like a fucking blue pill. It'll give you a boner for 4 hours. No, I'm just kidding. It's longer than 4 hours. Call Adam Crigler. No.
Whoa! I'm not gonna be able to do anything for you.
No, they have the magnetic poles have switched the way they have. You want to know how they scientifically found that out? Was through the crust at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, where the rift is, the big crack up the middle. There's there's lava that has been. It comes from the mantle that's come up, and it's dried out, and inside the lava, there's magnet. There's some form of way you can measure the magnetism at the time that is trapped in the lava. So they have proven that the poles have shifted before. It is not science fiction. It has happened.
That's cool.
Yep.
I like that. I'm going to dig into that.
I just don't want it to happen while we're on the planet. We really don't.
Right. Because that would
be bad.
Basically fry all computers and all systems that are based on computers, which is practically everything. Wow. And we do know that true magnetic north is moving. It is currently moving.
Yes, it is.
I don't remember. I did a segment on this like 2
Tampa
years ago.
Airport, like they had to change their something or other because it moved.
Yep, exactly. It's moving. It's interesting. Wrestler Town says no center of the universe. It's weirder. Points to a universe are expanding away from each other, but not from a center. BB wasn't an actual point. Interesting. I'll have to look into that more. I want to know more about that. The Happy Plague Doctor says, I want to go to the Chicago World's Fair in 1893. That would be pretty cool. It's like when electricity was a new thing.
That'd be kind of fun.
I don't know if he was in the States by that point. I think so, actually. I think in 89 he
moved to the
States.
Fire. You don't want to be around during the Great Chicago Fire. It was. Oh, that's another thing, Randall Carlson.
I'm not sure.
His latest podcasts are about how the Great Chicago Fire, the conflagration. I can never say the word. There were also fires at the same time, same day in Minnesota, and in Michigan. So big, huge fires like that wiped out towns and shit. So he's seeing if there's a correlation with them. like the Chicago fire, they thought it was a cow, that it wasn't. And he's like, his theory is like, no, maybe some meteors, maybe it was a little meteor shower and they started the fires.
Interesting. Yeah, it could have been.
Yeah,
Or
because
like
like
one meteor came in and broke up and kind of peppered the whole area.
because there's a lot of eyewitness accounts of stuff happening before, and it's trippy. It's something to look into. Man, those fires did a lot of damage. Oh my god, you think you forget about it. You heard about it, but you forget about like,
right,
dude, they melted like boilers, giant fucking iron boilers. They evaporated them.
wow.
Not just melted into molten, it evaporated iron. Like that's the sun, so that's great.
I don't know much about that fire. I'm from Chicago, and it's like I wasn't taught that in school or anything. 1861?
1871, October
71.
8th and 10th.
Interesting. Okay.
And it was insane. So, well, yeah, definitely check out his live streams on
Got
that.
a few things to well, it seems like I can just look up Randall Carlson and kind of hit up all these different things that I've been interested in finding more about.
You got hours of entertainment.
Cool.
He's good.
I love it. I love this. I just read that. Matthew Hammond says, did the Egyptians outsource the stone making to China? Let's be real. Stargate tells us that the pyramids were landing pads for spaceships. Yes, Stargate, in fact, was a documentary. And no, just kidding. I would love to believe that. It would be really cool to think that we could open a gate to another planet that, of course, we would then destroy, probably. But, I don't know. I definitely believe that we had technology based on different technology, like machines that were, used maybe harnessing the Tulare current or, the natural magnetic energy that the earth produces and had engines that ran on that. Like I feel like we think we're at the peak of technology, right? I don't necessarily believe that we are. I don't know. I don't know.
I think a lot of it is, I think we went through the Industrial Revolution, and the companies got so big, and through patents, they've slowed our progress like a lot. I don't think they know that's happened. We should have been to Mars a long time ago. We should be going back to the moon. There's no reason. Should we be off fossil fuels by now? Maybe. I don't know. It doesn't seem. It seems like that got slowed down by companies as well. But like, electricity is not the answer. I work for fucking Tesla.
Yeah.
I know what electricity runs off of, and I also know where they dispose a lot of their batteries, and it's in giant fucking pits in China.
Yep.
Same with the Prius battery and all the other stuff. Like, it's not, they don't
green energy. Yeah, all it is just removing or changing where the same exact engine that produces energy is.
And all kinds of shit you got to dig up from the earth as well. The earth.
Yep, lithium. I mean, they're about to mine Greenland. All right, you think Greenland's going to be there for right now? It's just going to be a big pit after we shift to green energy, as they keep putting it. That's hey, Epic Mike in chat as a super chat. What up, Epic Mike? How you doing? He says, "What's up, Adam and Gary? Love the show. Love Friday Night Tights. Wish you all the best. Don't forget, it's all a goddamn conspiracy." What's up, Epic Mike? How you doing, man? Thanks for that super chat and thanks for the support. Black Magic says, I might not be around as much for a bit. Shout out to all of chat. We'll miss you, even Adam, but mostly chat. That's all right. I understand. Care to do a song for us? Dealer's choice. No, I'm not in the mood to jam out. But what do you mean you're not gonna be around? I'm worried. You're gonna be good, Black Magic? You're not gonna even be in chat? And if you are still here, I hope you the best. I don't know what you're going through, but good luck on whatever you're doing. Yeah. Seal, I don't know how to say her name. Seal Hunter says Aaron Yeager gets a man bun in Attack on Titan final season, and he's rocking it. I rocked a man bun for a while. All right. I don't regret it. All right. Just saying.
Not even for a Halloween costume.
Well, now you got to do it.
No. I mean, I had like super long hair at one point in my life.
But you just had it long and flowing, like that's how
long and flowing. I did this a lot.
You thought you were so cool.
I thought I was so fucking cool, and I was like not. I was just not at all. Okay.
Oh man. Sparky says, watch Randall Carlson's Joe Rogan appearance first. I highly recommend it.
Yes, you got to watch those first.
Okay, I will.
Watch them in order, and like there's one that's pretty old now. It's 2015, but that's where you got to start.
He's been on the show multiple times.
He's been on the show by himself 3 times, and I think with Graham Hancock another 3 times. Watch them all in order.
Okay.
Yeah, they're really good.
Sounds good. That sounds good. And he says here, don't get out of sequence like you did with Mutiny on the Bounty. Well, technically, Sparky, I fell asleep right away during Mutiny on the Bounty. So I didn't actually watch it. So I'll watch the first one. Have you seen Mutiny on the Bounty?
The one with Mel Gibson and Anthony Hopkins? The Bounty?
Yeah. That's the newest one, I think. There's one with Marlon Brando that came out.
I didn't see that one.
And then there's one from like 1930 something.
I didn't see that one either.
Which I hear is really good. My wife got me a bounty model that takes like 500 hours to put together. It's like a legitimate I don't know, like awesome. 1 to 10 model, and it's like legit. It's got like little metal cannons. It's freaking cool.
Oh, that's so fucking cool. I love it.
You have to sew the sail yourself.
Oh, I couldn't do that. That's too much work.
Yeah. I'm excited about it. It's pretty cool.
I haven't even put together my Sauron yet. I've got a 1 1/4 scale Sauron in a fucking box because it's like, but I'm lazy. Fuck. Say like when I usually do a statue, it's like 4 or 5 pieces. This one's like 35 pieces. I'm like, oh, dude.
What do you pay Quarterback Garrett for? I mean,
that's what I'm going to get Quarterback put together on Monday.
Get your man bun down here.
Yep. You and your man bun can come down.
You work for me now. All right. I don't work for man buns.
And hey, put together Sauron. Change my mind. I'm just kidding. Oh man.
Fastidious for 20 says, did you ever see the Joe Rogan Experience with Tom O'Neill, the guy who discovered a bunch of connections he found between Charles Manson and MK Ultra? Favorite conspiracy I heard lately.
Yes, I did watch that one, and that was a little weird.
Interesting.
A little weird. Holy!
It wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, look at Kaczynski. He was. We know that he was a part of the project, but don't we? I mean, and he went crazy, but also had some interesting points. And then he asks here, what's both of yours favorite non-political conspiracy? Oh, non-political conspiracy. Favorite one, go.
Oh, favorite what are they? They're all political, aren't they? Aliens?
I mean, is aliens? It's political when you say that. I think that the government is hiding aliens.
Yeah, the aliens, like we are hiding aliens, and we're also and what they are, I don't know. I'm very open-minded to where they could be interdimensional, they could be us.
Well, according to Alex Jones, that's what's next on the bingo card. Interdimensional space demons, I believe.
Machine elves that you can visit with the DMT. They're aliens. So
I haven't met them yet, so I'm a see it to believe it kind of guy, you know. I need to experience it myself, you know, before I I don't know, accept it. Some things I need to see. What would be my non-political conspiracy? Yeah, I don't know. I like a lot of the things that I thought were conspiracies have turned out to be true over the past couple of years. So they're not theories anymore. They're conspiracy facts now, which is interesting. Non-political, I see that really throws me off because all the conspiracy theories that are like, you know, Bohemian Grove or like, I don't know, like Madison Crawford just said, yeah, that all these DCites just invited me to some sex orgy and they were all doing drugs in front of him. And it's like, wow. I mean, and Matt Walsh called him out earlier. He's like, if you're going to say that, give us their names. Like, who was it?
Do not come out. You can't just say that without saying names. Yeah.
Who was it then? Like, who was doing coke in front of you? Like, which senator was doing coke in front of you? Because like that's kind of a big deal. And if you don't say it who it was, then shut up.
Yeah, that means
Stupid.
jack squat to me. So it sounds like it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Or don't come just. Yeah, I hate it when that happens.
Right.
I mean, we know it happens. We all know it happens there. We all know there's some like freaking Mitch McConnell. Is probably out there. Oh my God, let's go. The eyes wide shut. Like fuck.
That was a documentary, by the way.
It was a documentary.
It's that.
And Kubrick.
You know what?
Wait,
no, that's political.
Yeah,
Kubrick was murdered like a week before that movie came out. And 20 minutes of the movie were taken out. You know that?
Yeah.
It was in his contract that no one can touch it. No one could alter the film because he had final say. And then boom, he died. I will say he wasn't murdered. That's the conspiracy. That's my favorite non-political conspiracy. I don't think it is political because I think there's people that were involved because like who was in that mansion in Eyes Wide Shut, it was movie star. They even said it was like there's famous people. Like if you knew who were under those robes, you would like freak. I don't remember exactly. I've only seen the movie once, but it was more recently. So
I've not seen the movie in a long time.
Yeah, I had never seen it. And then my friend calls like, "Oh, dude, you got to see it. It's so good because I mean, it's basically real." And then he told me about the conspiracy about how Kubrick was offed, and then 20 minutes were taken out of the film in between the time of the release because he died right before the release. So and then 20 minutes just suddenly went missing. It's like the final cut. Why? What? Huh?
I think of late we've seen too many weird coincidences. Like that's light compared to like I don't know the guy who had the island and all of his
Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, Kevin Spacey. Like we're now. I think more like they're just getting more and more brazen, and I think a lot of people are waking up to it, but not enough. Not enough yet.
I think that House of Cards is definitely crumbling, man. Yep. I just choose to believe that. I mean, there's rumors that the Senate might actually indict Hunter Biden, which I think absolutely needs to happen because of what's come out that wasn't not even connected to his laptop. The laptop is a separate thing. They're now coming out with new information over there like today, yesterday, and over the next few days. They're dropping more connections with like the Chinese money guy. I mean, there's a lot coming out of that. It's like good riddance. Metastep for celebrating 12 months as a member. Metastep, what's up? A full year of membership. Thank you so much, Meta. It says progressive, incurable, and fatal. Jails, institutions, and death. Resentment is like drinking poison. Expecting the other person to die.
Yep.
I'm brainwashed. Yep. That was a heavy celebration of your 12 months membership.
That's awesome. No, that's a lot of wisdom right there, though.
Yeah. Metastep, thank you so much. And I keep seeing you around. It's funny. I see a lot of my chat. I see a lot of you guys over in Nerdrotic stuff. I see you guys in Chrissy Mayer's streams. I see you in Quartering streams. I always like to support the homies, like if you guys, that's why, I love watching your stuff. I love, especially when people are live. If people are live, I love going in there because there's something about being live that there's an energy that's different than a pre-recorded thing. You know what I mean? I don't know how to describe it. I mean, it just feels different. Yeah, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's live. It's unedited. Like this whole episode, we're live. It's not edited at all. Whatever goes, and that's just kind of the vibe. So I don't know. I always like catching the homies live. Visidia says MAGA Hulk is a guy and a legit badass. Second that guest suggestion. Oh, get MAGA Hulk. I see. I didn't understand what Captain Ridiculous was saying, but now I get it. All right. MAGA Hulk. I've never heard of this person, but sounds like a based Hulk.
Yeah.
Cool image in my head. Hulk wearing a freaking beanie. Nice. Fantastic, Mr. Knox for 10. Thanks for your opinion about that book, Gary. Damn shame, though, because it sounded interesting, too. Oh, well. Also, Australia is doing slightly better than Canada, but it's because the election is here this year. Oh, yeah, of course.
That'll change things. Yeah.
Guys, it wasn't so bad. Now, have some of your freedoms back. We'll take them after the election. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Knox says, but there be a chance it'll go back to being an ish hole. I'll say it is a shithole after elections, like every post elections of any country, Canada, US, New Zealand, LOL. Yeah, exactly. I kind of knew this was coming. I actually just said it. So, Mr. Butt Cracks Media, thank you for that little thumbs up. I appreciate that. The Last Crow says, Nerdrotic, for the sobriety question, had many friends die, hit rock bottom, surround yourself with loved ones, and never give up. 7 years sober from dope. Nice. Hail, Last Crow. Good shit, man. 7 years. Good for you. Keep it up. Make it 10.
Yeah, one day at a time. That's how we do it.
Dawson, what's up, Dawson? How you doing, man? Showing some love, appreciation for the show, as always, Adam. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate that. $10. Tom Potter says, both you guys goodness is evidence way down here in New Zealand. My home needs saving. Nerdrotic, love your panels. Adam is greater than Tim. You rock, bro. Well, thank you. Who are you talking about? Tim. Oh, Pool? Are you talking about Pool? I'm just playing. Quentin Daniels says, I'm sure he said to all of the FNT, I guess, including you, Gary, during the Alex Jones Friday Night Tights, that you were all welcome on his show. Okay.
Oh, he did. He did.
So it was a welcome to everybody onto his show.
He did say, I mean, like, I'm sure he means that too. It's just like Alex is probably super busy running his own like entire worldwide network.
True.
And I'm positive our paths will cross again sooner than later.
I know. That reminds me. You know Savannah Hernandez? You know who Savannah is?
Yes.
She is fantastic. She was on Alex Jones recently. Tucker Carlson showed her video. You know what? I was about to announce something, but I'm not sure if it's public information yet. Let's just say I'm very excited for Savannah's career because she deserves it. She's a badass. I support her 100%, and there's some awesome stuff coming her way. I gotta ask her before I blow up her spot. But needless to say, she's amazing, and she deserves what she's getting. Let's see. Jacob Clark for 10 says, I joined the Navy to get out of the bad circumstances I was in and have not looked back since. I am now about to head to Japan. Well, thank you for your service, Jacob. I appreciate that. And you made the best of a bad situation. Got out of there. Very nice. I'm proud of you for that. That's great. Robert Wild says, sorry I missed so much. I've been there. Been in this pain. Hopefully I can get back soon. Pain is pre-fusion. Be blessed, Adam, and be blessed, Gary, and chat. Oh, thank you, Robert. Well, thanks for hanging out. I still appreciate you coming by. Nate D says, had my first cup of All Hail blend yesterday. Good stuff.
Yeah.
I'll buy some Crigler coffee tonight. Yes.
There you go.
May the best coffee win.
Yeah.
Or create your own blend of both and be hooked on both of our coffees. Because you just, once you get a taste of both in the same, notice when he was talking about the black hole, he used 2 fingers. I don't know if you noticed that.
2 fingers.
2 coffees. I don't know.
Just don't drink quartering coffee, whatever it is.
Yeah. No, the quartering coffee. That's fake.
It'll make you slower.
That actually leaches caffeine from the body.
Will make you I'm just kidding, Jeremy. I love you, man.
I am not. I mean every word. Ryan Hinnard says the best fantasy novel or comic series. Well, my mind instantly goes to the Wheel of Time. But I've read some amazing stuff. I love that book series so much. But my first love was the Dragonlance Chronicles, the first 3 books. Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman. Fantastic quick read of those. What about you? I mean, or comic series.
Sword of Conan, the magazine.
Okay.
Freaking awesome. And Lord of the Rings, obviously.
Right.
Novels.
Well, you like Lord of the Rings? Wow.
I do.
I didn't know that.
I
was not
Live
informed.
a mystery, I know.
Yeah. Our rural juror.
Oh boy.
Gary, when is the next paranormal show? We miss your talk of UFOs and ancient astronauts. Cool.
Once I get settled down, quarterback's gonna help me with the studio.
Nice.
And then like once that's set, we're gonna get some more equipment, and then we're gonna, he's gonna start engineering every live show.
Nice.
I guess I can tease that our first nooner with Chris Gore will be this Wednesday.
Cool, Chris Gore, nice.
Wednesday, yeah.
I don't know, maybe you looking for a co-host also for the for that paranormal / UFO and ancient astronaut stuff.
Oh, I think we could probably do like a one-off. Like once I get my schedule down, I'll be able to do more stuff. But we can definitely do like a one-off one in the future.
Cool.
Like,
hey, let me know.
Yeah, dude, I'll get you on.
I'd love to join. GJJ became a member. Thank you so much, GJJ. Appreciate you. Martin says, 1893 World's Fair. Go stop the hotel serial killer. Oh, is that what happened?
That's right.
I don't know anything about that. Cool.
Yep,
Liberty or Death for 20 says, I was with a girl for 14 years and married for 4 of those years. I've lost everything, and at least half of the time think of self-deleting. I beat the demons and they come back. How'd you handle it, Gary? Just terrified of being alone. Well, would you
I was never alone. That's the thing. I made sure I wasn't. So I don't know what particularly what your demons are, but you're always welcome at meetings. Meetings are a way to have fellowship. It's a huge part of the meeting is fellowship. That's why I like that word.
Yeah, I like that too.
And that's what keeps me sober. And it doesn't necessarily have to be. You can go to AA and be a drug addict, right? I went to AA because there's more time in AA, and I like the book a little more. But you can go to NA too. But a group setting would be a good way to keep from being alone. And there's groups for everything, everywhere, depending on where you are. But I mean, you could find one and go and immediately be talking to somebody. You won't be alone.
My Darth Jason in chat just said, you are not alone here.
Yep.
Got that right, Liberty. Tune into my show every day. You can hang out. I've got an amazing group of people that would welcome you with open arms. So I'm wishing you good energy and understanding that you are not alone ever. That's one of the wonders of the internet, that it is in fact a great place because it makes it so easy to actually connect with people. And thanks for hanging out too. So you're always welcome back. Chancho says, I got my first bag of your coffee. I love the Catalyst blend. Thank you for the support. I appreciate that, Chancho. I like your name. It's hilarious. Matthew Hammond says, did Andrew Breitbart die of natural causes after saying he had info on the administration? Was Sith Rich robbed? Well, see, those are political. So non-political conspiracies. Now, I don't even know if we can talk about this kind of stuff because, like, some of these things, like, I personally, I know somebody who served Hillary Clinton papers back in 2016 and was found 3 days later in his apartment with a fentanyl overdose. He was a friend of mine, and that scares me because he was a freaking awesome dude who never did that shit. And it's like, my. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, a lot of smoke around that potential fire. We'll just say that.
Yeah. Visidia says, to meet the machine elves, it only takes a little DMT. Conveniently enough, the products to make it are all legal to buy online, even through Amazon. I don't know anything about that. And I don't know if I'm even allowed to say that kind of stuff. So try not to get me in trouble, Visidious. Robert Shaw says, Knox, I'm sick of Clive Palmer political ads here. Well, you guys are both Australians. I don't know who that is, but Crash for 10 says, my favorite fun conspiracy is that we have actual spaceships via WikiLeaks, mentions Solar Warden, and uses Curtis LeMay and USS Hillen Coder would explain the creation of Space Force. Cool. I'm going to look more into that. That sounds cool. Solar Warden. Robert Shaw says, Doomcock when? No idea. Nacho Business, what's up, dog? It was one of my mods. Says truth to power. Yes, man. I'm prepping on. So I started my Rumble channel, and there's some things I'm not allowed to say that I really want to talk about. Like the stuff that I know about that super chat. A couple of the past super chats, I know a lot about, and I don't talk about that on this channel. But I definitely would like to talk about it. So my Rumble channel is going to be for more of those subjects that are not YouTube.
You gotta still watch your ass, right? It sucks that YouTube's got the same rules that everybody else. They can just nip you on.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to be watching every second. That's the thing, is like,
right. I don't know, man. They gave me a strike. The last 2 strikes I got were from shows that I did over 2 months prior to when I got the strike. So they were sifting my old content and gave me strikes for it. So it's like it really feels like someone's like making sure that I don't.
Sounds a little personal.
I think it is, man. But anyway, I got my Rumble channel. But you know what? I gotta just say again, I really enjoyed my conversation with you. I love Friday Night Tights. Thanks for having me on tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to laughing my ass off. I am going to drop some major news tomorrow on the show. There's some things that people have been asking me for the past year and a half of what happened, and I think I'm going to get rather spicy on your show. I hope that's okay.
It's okay.
All right, good. It's going to be a lot of fun. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on Nerdrotics, Friday Night Tights. If you guys don't know Friday Night Tights, you are missing out. It is the best show on YouTube, hands down, because it is filled with awesome people. You laugh your ass off. They always have great guests, especially tomorrow. They have a fantastic guest coming in. It's me. I'm the guest. And just a reminder, I won't be doing a show tomorrow. I'm taking the day off because I'm going on said Friday Night Tights. Please go click in the description below. You can follow him on Twitter. You can follow him on YouTube. And also his website, nerdrotic.com, is also there. You can just click it. Go check him out, all of his stuff, and support this awesome guy. And Gary, thank you for joining me on the show today.
Thanks for having me on. It was great. Had a good time, man.
Yeah, really appreciate it. So everyone, thank you so much. I will be back next week here on the Crigler Show for Based AF Mondays. I've got a special guest that's going to be joining us. I'm not going to say who it is. I'm just going to bring him on in the midst of Based AF Mondays. Of course, Flawdzilla will be joining us, and Darth Call himself will be joining us. And it's going to be a fun week next week. I have Eliza Blue that's coming on Tuesday, and Viva Fry is going to be joining me next Thursday. We're going to be discussing Viva and who he is and why he's a freaking badass on the YouTubes as well. Really excited for that. So I will see you tomorrow on Friday Night Tights. Gary, have a great night.
You too. Take care.
All right. Good night, everybody.